If you like your horror movies cookie cutter and as fresh as stale rice cakes, then we got the movie for you. A killer stalks people at the popular Bates Hotel haunted theme park. Wait. The Bates Hotel haunted theme park? That sounds familiar. Didn't we already do this movie? Ah, fuck, I don't know anymore. Well, we watched something. We watched it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is. What's up, Moongoons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Lord Marshall Hampton. This week, things I want to say. First of all, I want to apologize ahead of time because I have been suffering from a very bad cough. So if you hear me coughing in the background, I apologize. I'm going to do my best to keep that as limited as possible. There might be some times where I have to stop recording and edit out some coughing, so there might be some hard cuts. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not. With that said, also, Aaron is still out again, but in his place, I have something very, very special. So let's get ready for this. To the dozens and dozens of horrible horror fans, finally, Coffee Doug has come back to Horrible Horror. Can you smell what the coffee is brewing? Coffee Doug is back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow,
man, you're making me blush, Marshall. This is, oh man, I think it stood up a little. You talking like that about me? Oh my gosh!
And not just only him, but this schmuck's back too.
No.
This never gets old. I made this theme song too long.
I love it. It's just right. I am very excited to be here with Nachos.
Yes, Duffy Doug and Nachos are both here today.
How is everybody doing this wonderful autismal season?
It is a beautiful October day today. It's really nice weather out there. Nice breeze. It's gorgeous the last 2 days. But hopefully this holds up for another week.
Yeah, we lucked out.
Yeah.
It feels spooky out there.
Oh,
I like
good.
it.
It's still spooky.
Yeah,
Always spooky.
I like it.
Stay spooky.
Hopefully it stays spooky. So before we get into this week's movie, there's something kind of funny that just happened to kind of work itself out this week. So nearly exactly almost 6 years ago, on October 30th of 2016, Horrible Horror, we released our 75th episode, which was on a movie called Hallow's Eve. Hallow '' Eve, which Coffee Doug happened to be on that episode along with Chris Samples, who could not be here because of he's busy.
He's busy. Dude.
But while we were doing that episode, something kind of came up during near the end of the episode with 5-star reviews. And I have a clip I'm going to play. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds long, but it kind of foreshadows something. So here's a sound bite from episode 75 with me, Doug, and Chris.
From Bite Me. This movie went under the title Bates Haunting. You can't tell me this isn't the same movie, just under a different title. I mean, the same theme in the Bates Haunting. Girl's friend gets killed. Then the next year she goes to work for the Bates farm. I mean, what the fuck? Two low-budget flicks ripping off the name Bates with the same theme? 1 star.
Is that legit?
I did question this, so I
Here we
went
go.
and found out it is legit. There is a movie called The Bates Haunting, which takes place at the exact same Bates Motel haunted theme park in Pennsylvania, with
Seriously?
nearly the exact same theme because a girl does die in the beginning and another girl comes back to find out what happened. I watched it. I watched it immediately after this.
You watched the movie?
I watched it, and you know what? It's probably actually better than this one.
Wow. Did you see, are any of the crew or anybody, the
same
production company?
No, totally different production
Really?
companies. Yes.
Oh.
So the Bates
Why
Motel
didn't we do that
Pennsylvania has somehow landed 2
You just
movie
blew my
picture
mind.
deals.
I did not know that. Because I
know.
researched shit after I watched it. I didn't read that at all.
What was the comparison in the 5-star? There was a 5-star review. There was a
Yeah.
comparison.
Somewhat like the early release film The Bates Haunting, had a lot of the same scenes and locations.
So it's the
So, yeah.
same thing.
Huh.
So
All
it's
right.
referenced in the 5-star
And the 1-star.
All right. That was from almost 6 years ago to the day, about a week. So we found out during Hallow's Eve that this movie existed, and it's compared to Hallow's Eve. I just found it funny how this worked out time-wise, that almost 6 years from that we're doing The Bates Haunting and had to bring that back.
Yeah.
And Doug happens to be on the show, which worked out even better that this happened. This is serendipitous here, by the way.
I got a little scared for a minute when you started it. I thought you were going to lead with what's kind of funny? And then it's oh, shit. But I've actually seen the Hallows Eve
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you know that one?
many, many moons ago. And it's not like these movies, stick around in my fucking head.
Sure.
Because, yeah.
It's, I rewatched it because Marshall had mentioned it to me, and I'm glad I did, because once you start it again, a lot of times you'll be like, oh, fuck, I did watch that at some point in my life. But it's weird, man. Just compared to this one. So they were filmed at that same farm, Marshall, which you can kind of see that, and they're right around the same time.
You know what? I should have. This one. Okay. Well, Bates Haunting, the movie we're doing today, was released in 2012, where Hallows Eve, I believe, was released in 2021 or something. I don't know. It was later, I believe. I think it was.
What's that?
later.
Hallows Eve?
Hallows Eve, I think, was later.
No, I think that was 2012. Well, I filmed
I got
it.
those vibes for sure.
I was with you in 2016, but I don't remember. Maybe 14, something like that.
Oh wait, that movie couldn't have been released in 2020 because we did it in
Yeah.
2016. So, yeah, you're right. You know what? Let's to the Google machine.
I swear to fuck, I saw a movie very similar with Daniel Harris was in it for okay, so that
That's
was
it.
that.
Yeah,
That's that one. 2013. Hallows
Okay.
Eve was 2013. This one is released in 2012, so a year apart.
So
One
you
year
gotta
apart.
wonder if they you hear that with a movie being made, and all of a sudden there's another movie just like it, competition, and sometimes they'll swear we didn't know about the other one, but there's gotta be.
They had to be. They're filmed at the exact same location.
Yeah.
So they had to.
What
be.
are the odds that would have
Yeah.
been?
This can't be one of those asylum mockbuster situations, quick, let's beat them to it.
Yeah.
But it's probably oh, dude, they're gonna do it. Who'd they get? Daniel Harris? Dude, we get Bam Margera.
Yeah.
Fucking Ryan Dunn.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, so let's move on. So this was written by Sean Skinner and J.L. Strindberg, directed by Byron Turk. This is his one and only full-length film and directing credit. Same goes for the writers too. So this was their one and dones. You can currently find The Bates Haunting on Vudu, YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, and Tubi. It's also you can rent it off of Amazon or buy it on disc at Amazon. The cast. Our main girl Agnes is played by Jean Louise O'Sullivan. This is her second appearance on the podcast.
What?
She's got 37 credits, including The Slashing to The Final Beginning, Puppet Master Access Termination, and Puppet Master Access Rising, Sorority Slaughterhouse, which is one we did on the show. She did a voice in Fallout, the video game Fallout 4. She was in The Dead Want Women, and she was in Ginger Dead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver.
Yikes.
So a big full moon girl there. A lot of full moon
Yeah,
stuff.
she's done a ton of stuff.
You know what? She's also in, I think it's like Trophy Heads. If you've seen it, I'm sorry.
No.
And if you haven't, you've made the right choice. But it's, go ahead.
And then, as Nacho said a little while ago, but this movie also has fucking Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn in this movie. Why? I don't fucking know. They're both useless, but they're in this movie, so kind of useless like the rest of their lives. Kind of useless.
I'll tell you exactly why, because they're all from the same area kind
I'm
of
sure.
thing. It's like, fucking dude, I want to be in this movie.
Was there a way, like, did they think back then putting the name on the DVD case or something would have brought people in? I mean,
I'm sure it's probably like,
2012,
we got Bam Margera in this movie, so let's go. Ooh, okay, yay.
And you know what? Honestly, yeah, if you're like a CKY or whatever the shit Jackass guy, that's probably enough just to hook you.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, they get him in it, and technically they're in it, but man, they're useless. They are.
You would have assumed they would have done some kind of kill with them or something to make it. I mean, they had that coffin with.
Let's
get
into
Or
that.
like a really good car crash.
Yeah.
Because that's how
Yeah.
this opens up. It opens with a fucking commercial for the Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride, which is starring Bam Margera, where basically he's like, hey, you want to see something scary? And he gets into a coffin that's tied behind a hearse, and the hearse drives off down the road with him dragging the coffin behind it. And it swings, skirts around a corner, and the coffin goes crashing into a tree, and then it cuts, and Bam Margera's opening the lid, like, haha, now you want to see something really scary? Check out the Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride, blah, 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 blah. And I kind of have to expect to see fucking Big Boss Man behind the wheel and Big Show jumping on top of that coffin, trying to get his, trying to save his daddy's corpse or mom or whoever it was. Because by the way, that marked 20 years ago. Today was the not today, but this was 20 years ago. This year was the Big Boss Man, Big Show coffin fiasco at the graveyard back in the old wrestling days.
That's about as tasteful as Eddie Guerrero coming back as the haunted lowrider.
Yes.
But in my version, it was Bam Margera goes, dude, you want to see something fucking scary? And he's wearing a G-string, and then he pulls up his shirt, and he has a him tattoo, but it's like a heart. And if anybody knows what it is, that's fucking terrible. And don't kill yourself.
Talk about the singer band him.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they're all buddies and probably banned each other up the ass or whatever.
I did not know they were buddies, but all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. And that's all you see of Bam. He just does this like 30-second commercial spot at the beginning of the movie. And honestly, that may have been a real commercial spot that played back in Pennsylvania back in the time. So he may not even been for the movie because it's filmed completely different than the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
they
for
might
sure.
just shove that in at the beginning and said, well, now you're in the movie. Here's your credit.
Good
So-
point. And it'll be awesome if he was actually in that coffin the entire time.
Which obviously he wasn't, but man, yeah, it would be nice if he was. And that's it. He's done. So now we cut to our main girl, Agnes, at the Bates Motel Haunted Hayride, talking to her boyfriend who works there along with her best friend, Lily. Lily's dressed like kind of like a Tarzan Jane, Jungle Girl type thing.
Who's the chick from the Injustice League? She's like Cheetah's villain. She grows big.
Oh, Giganta.
Looks just like
How
her.
did you
Spot
know
image.
that? Wow.
My boy's a nerdy. We know
Yeah.
our shit, you know?
That is impressive.
Also, what's up with Dracula who can't wear a fucking shirt? this
Shirtless
entire
Dracula?
Yeah. So I'm watching this with the gal kind of thing, and I'm like, I don't look weird, but like, does this dude have any business not wearing a fucking shirt?
No.
And she's kind of like, nah, there's nothing really there, man. I was like, so I should just walk around with no shirt on all the fucking time.
I recommend it. Do
I
it.
agree. He's no business being shirtless. Yeah, shirtless Dracula was very confusing.
Was this during the Twilight era, mayhaps?
Maybe. I mean, this is what did I say? 2012. So
Right after it.
right after, yeah.
Right after
Keen-eyed
it.
viewers watching the film, you can pick up on these fashion faux pas, like the dude had the white studded belt, sorry, or a shoe, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
We can totally not edit that out.
No, that one's staying.
Thank you.
So Agnes gives Lily a butterfly necklace, wishing her good luck on her first night. And good luck on your first big scene and your first night here, and blah blah blah.
I thought it because they were both Crazy Town fans.
Oh, come, my lady. She's my butterfly,
Sugar,
baby.
why?
I used to like that song.
I like a couple other songs by him, but I'll never admit it on public.
Well,
in public.
you just did.
Fuck!
Yeah. Well, it's one of the worst songs, like so embarrassing, but you have to listen to it every time.
It's so tragic.
Like, what's one for you? Like one music you don't turn off, but you know people would make fun of you for.
Genuinely everything I fucking listen to because I'm shameless.
Marshall.
Well, Crazy Town's Butterfly was just kind of one of them,
Ew! Boo this band.
that's a good one. I don't know. I'm not sure what would be considered embarrassing anymore at this point. In my
I know
life.
everybody. You can listen to whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like Tina Turner, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" I can jam out to that song. I love it.
Because the fake,
I love it.
the synth harmonica solo gets me through that fucking song. It's just like, is it a Western? I don't know.
So we jump to Agnes on the hayride as Lily gets all set up in position for her big scene, which is just her being tied to a post, like an elevator post. The tractor pulls up to Ellie's scene where she's supposed to be like sacrificed to a giant fire snorting dragon. She's tied to this one post. It's very King Kong style.
Thank you. I was
Very
going to say,
King Kong.
I'm waiting for the not King of the Monsters to come out.
Yeah. And we see the dragon operator, the guy's operating dragon, pass out behind the wheel on the controls. He just passes out.
Okay, I missed this
I
part.
did too. I didn't see him pass out.
It's
that
like
point.
a blink. You see her tie him up. She's getting tied up, and Lily's like, "Hey, that's too tight." And then the woman in the black robe masking, she's like, "Shh." And then it cuts to the operator of the dragon. He's just like, "Oh, pass out," and then it's gone. It's like if you blink, you miss it.
So with the dragon, I did want to bring up because in that other movie, Hallow's Eve, where we've made comparisons. There was a scene where they're riding the hayride and two dinosaurs come out.
Yeah.
And we thought that was weird in that the last podcast we did about that. So does this, I guess if it's filmed at the same place, they have all these animatronics coming out?
I
Because
guess.
dinosaurs and
But-
now that's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's now we
And
don't see
expensive.
the dinosaurs
This
in this
time,
movie.
yeah.
So again, maybe every year they change up the ride. There is a few spots that you can clearly see in the two movies that are abused in both movies are the same thing. But yeah, the dragon was not in Hallow's Eve, and the dinosaurs were not in this one.
Okay.
But my guess is it could have been the same scene. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying? Same
sure.
area. They just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
move
yeah.
things in and out.
I actually have the correlation in between these scenes. So Drago the dragon, which is credited in this film, who has his SAG card, had his two dinosaur brothers come in uncredited. It was a cameo.
okay.
It was hush hush. You
Yeah,
know, 'cause
gotcha.
you can't be getting people.
Okay.
Also, just like the snake in like Fear 3.
Like for 3.
I don't know that one.
Don't.
So the fire starts shooting out the dragon's nose, nostrils, mouth, whatever, and it sets the platform on fire, which in turn causes Lily to basically burn to death. All this happens in front of the customers on the tractor, including Agnes, who screamed for someone to help Lily. But of course, everyone just thinks it's all part of the show, because why wouldn't you see a werewolf burning to fucking death like fucking Joan of Arc and not think that's real? Like, oh, that's great. No, you would know that shit's real, but nobody helps. So that's our opening.
Is that what you gathered from the shitty editing in between a fire, a dummy? It's like a beef jerky woman.
Yeah.
And then I did like she was screaming, do something, and then her last line was, "Can you do something?" And I was like, that was a weird thing to say when you're and then they had the weird guy looking at her, but they come back around to that.
Yeah,
So-
because he's straight gawking.
Yeah.
So actually, somebody did something. The lady in the black mask came up and like squirted barbecue sauce on her. He goes, "You got a mullet."
So that's our opening. That's our cold open. Now we cut to what is probably the best scene of the whole movie, where we got Ryan Dunn at a pizza place getting all pissed off waiting for his pizza.
Dude, I've been waiting 45 minutes, 43 minutes. And then this fucking pizza's just burnt. It's like, what is this? Fucking Samoa nipples?
Yeah, it's like Samoa nipple. I'd rather have Dan DeVito fart in my mouth to fill me up. I'm Ryan Dunn. Whip-a-doop-a-doo.
You know, I will say this about Ryan Dunn. He died doing what he loved, having car parts in him. So remember when he had the toy car up his ass?
I didn't know if he's the one that passed away. I
Yes.
actually didn't. I couldn't remember.
He died before this movie was released.
Oh, no shit.
Actually, well, I'll save that for later.
So anyway, this scene is fucking goddamn pointless. And like I said, we kind of got the point. It's just Ryan Dunn trying to be funny and improvise these lines. It's hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Like this again. This only scene is just here to shoo Ryan Dunn into the movie some way. Like it could be anybody else. There's no point to this scene. It sucks.
You wonder if the director or somebody knew them. Like you just said, they're all from the same area.
Right. Like
Yeah.
somebody. Like,
Somebody called in a favor, so hey, we get Ryan Dunn or something.
they probably all went to high school together or something. Or Don Vito molested the director too or something.
God.
Jesus. So anyway, the immigrant owner comes out and he like takes care of Ryan and the pizzas, and then that's it. And we cut back to outside where we see Agnes and her other best friend Clyde are out
Yay.
shooting a pellet gun at targets and smoking weed. The owner comes running out, all angry and pissed off at Agnes, fires her on the spot for not being inside and working. That's the scene. We cut to Clyde and Agnes driving down the road, smoking weed. She gets pulled over by a cop who turns out to be her dad.
Nepotism.
He's into her for getting fired again, and we find out she has a history of being fired and kind of becoming a delinquent here over the last year or so. And says that her behavior lady says it was... if it was anybody else, that they'd be in handcuffs right now. But he sends her to take Clyde home, saying that we're going to talk later tonight.
So does the sheriff kind of look like somebody famous, right?
He looks similar to me, yeah.
Right?
Or
Okay.
familiar, I mean.
You were
Yeah,
picking.
yeah.
Also, I love how his badge is the exact same shit I got at Silver Dollar City when I was fucking 8.
One thing to say, and I don't know, you might have already known this, Marshall, but I think the guy that played Clyde and the girl Agnes, like they're best friends in the film. Am I talking about? I think they like have a production company in real life, and I think they produced this and helped make this film together since like the Earth 2012 now. So they've made other movies together, I believe.
Is their production company called Don't Watch This? LLC?
Well, see, I think I liked this a little better than you guys did, but
There were parts for sure.
Hold on. Let me find it. Bates Motel. Now I'm curious. You're gonna movie Bates Motel.
I
film,
just
Bates
got
Motel
on
movie.
Instagram. That's how I saw it, because I don't have Facebook. So sometimes I'll look up some stuff on there, and I was like, oh, it looks like they've made a couple movies together.
Interesting, because I don't know. Like
I could be wrong.
that's
Maybe
like
it was
Clyde
somebody
here.
else.
Let's just look up Clyde here real quick.
While you're doing that research,
Dante Zucca played Clyde.
Zucca.
He was only known, according to IMDb, he's only known for this movie as an actor, and played Doobie the Clown in a movie called Scarefest in 2019. That's it. He has no other credits as a producer or director or
Then maybe
writer or any
I don't
other
know
production.
I don't know who it is. That girl though that played Agnes was a producer on this one.
Was
with
she?
somebody, and I thought it might be him, but maybe it wasn't him.
All right.
So they didn't actually pay her. She was just like, we'll put you in production
Yeah,
credits.
yeah.
Producer. Let's see here. She's got 4 producing credits.
Oh,
Yes, she is a producer for this movie. She also produced 2 shorts called Service Dog, Page of Cups, and then another short called Troy, where she's also a producer. So just 3 shorts after this. So again, she has a company. It's not.
So it doesn't sound like a lot of horror though. Like she's more of a horror actress than making them. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like definitely looks like she's again. Her IMDb page is full. Like it's full of what was it? Full Moon. A lot of Full Moon features.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys watch those a lot as kids? The full moons.
And not intentionally, but yeah, I did because I got hooked on like
it's Puppet Master.
the
of
first
course.
Puppet Master when it was actually trying to be scary.
It's fucking
And it was
legit, man.
great.
I like the
Loved
first
it.
3 are
the
good.
first 2 or 3 I liked, and then they started turning the puppets into good guys. That's where I was
No.
like, I'm out. I'm done.
And then they flipped the script by turning him into fucking Nazis.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Then they brought Nazis in.
Because that's the one with Dangle from Reno 911 in it. That movie's weird as fuck. Oh, and Barbara Cramps is in it.
Oh.
Okay, again, Jean Louise O'Sullivan's bio page again lists nothing at as a producer or owning any kind of production company.
Really? After that?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to mention anything. So I don't know. Maybe who knows?
I don't know what that was.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
So anyway, so that later that night, Agnes gets home. When she gets home, her dad tells her that he has arranged for her to work at the Bates Motel on Haunted Hayride. That this is basically her last shot, and there's nobody else really able to would hire her anymore. She tries to resist this because her friend dying there and the trauma that she suffered from watching her friend die in the end.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up too.
Hey, where's your trauma located? Your new job?
And guess what? You're gonna do it. You're going there.
And what's weird is, what do you mean in this town there's nowhere else she can work?
Yeah.
So even if the friend died a year ago, you're saying in a year you've worked at every place in this town and they've all kicked you out. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't that mean there's a spot available at that job too? Just saying.
But yeah, so he's like, you have no choice. You're gonna work there. He forces her to work out there, and that's, man, I don't know. I'm a parent. I don't know if I could ever, if I ever had, like, my daughter's, if she grows up to be a teenager and her best friend dies at,
Fuck your mental
like,
health.
like, fuck that. You're going, like, you know, you find something else to do.
Well, but
you can find somewhere else.
They threw
Get
in
her a
the
job at
line.
the police station, for Christ's sake.
I thought that, but they did mention she dropped out of school, and they
Yeah.
did mention that the therapist says this is good.
And that's a
Face your
shitty
fears.
therapist.
Yeah.
Like, get a new therapist. Like, I know there's there's the some subversion therapy, or I think it's called, not aversion, but basically, like, if you're afraid of snakes, we're gonna put you in a box and dump a bunch of snakes on you, and you're gonna get over your fear. There's that train of thought,
Yeah,
but
who's her therapist? Joe Rogan from fucking Fear Factor?
That's what Jake the Snake did, the Ultimate Warrior. Do you remember that? When he put the Ultimate Warrior in that room with all the snakes to get him. Do you remember that
yeah.
storyline?
Speaking of which, did you realize that Jake the Snake was actually scared of snakes? He had
No.
a phobia of snakes.
What?
Yeah. He hated snakes. He was so scared of them. And I
Wow.
watched it, but when it came time to do the job, he's like, I gotta fucking do this. It's my
Yeah.
job. Here you go. But after behind the scenes, he's like, get me the fuck away from the snakes.
Wow.
The craziest thing was afterwards, him and Damien made a sex tape.
Yeah.
So
that was really
Yeah,
weird.
I always wanted to see that, but it was only on VHS. So I
Yeah.
could black market. I couldn't find it.
I guess he got over his fear of snakes.
Anyway, so that night, Agnes has a nightmare, and it's basically her lost in a corn maze while hearing Lily screaming. When she finds Lily, she has to watch her burn to death all over again, and there's flashes of other shit going on, but that's basically the dream. She wakes up in bed.
And she's also mad at bras.
Yes.
Yes.
So the next day, Agnes gets dropped off at the Bates Motel by her dad. She gets introduced to the owners of the haunted park, where you have Andrew is the father, the owner. His wife, whose name I don't think you ever fucking hear or learn, doesn't,
Her name's Amazing Wig.
yeah, but I don't know.
I feel like that guy, the Andrew, like the dad or whatever, I feel like he really owns that shit in real life because he looks it.
He might. I don't know. Maybe.
Now, who was it? So the owner of that farm is in this movie. He's the guy that carries around the shotgun.
That's Andrew then.
That he's the real owner.
Well,
Not
there you
just
go.
good call. He definitely is. Yeah.
Called that shit.
They thank him in the credits and stuff, and
Okay.
his last name is Bates in real life. And
Yeah.
Yeah, how did they not get like a cease and desist from Universal Studios about the whole Bates Motel
I
shit?
wondered that too with Psycho. I don't know how they did that. I don't know.
Well, one, like, I guess, I don't know, because, I mean, you look at a lot of the haunted houses, like, people always use, like, have used
Camp
something like that.
Blood.
And not Camp Blood, but people have had people dressing up as Freddy Krueger and Jason in haunted houses for years. And if it is their own last name, I don't know how you cease and desist somebody from using their own name in something they own.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, just because it's
Lawyered.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, now as long as they're saying, like, they just happen to be where the Bates Motel or whatever, and my last name is Bates, but if they're not doing anything like, if they're not doing specific things like, I guess, Norman Bates or the mother, then maybe they can get away, because, like I said, it is their own last name. And,
Good point.
And honestly, we've now had 2 movies we've seen this in. They're not in any of those things have they had anything resemble anything from the Psycho movies, other than just the name Bates.
Actually, I'll address it later.
We'll address it later.
Fuck it, I'll say it now.
Did I miss something?
When Junior's like, yeah, I'm not like Norman Bates. I'm like
Oh,
normal Bates.
Normal Bates. Yeah.
Well, but
Well, that's just a joke.
I'm
so.
sure we'll get to it though. But I think this one addresses Psycho a lot. I think it's trying to parody. I mean,
Okay, maybe
when you get
we'll
to the
get there.
end and
We'll
who
get
the
there.
killers
Yeah.
are.
Okay,
and
we'll
stuff.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about that when we get
Are
there.
you telling me there's a psycho killer? Qu'est-ce que c'est? I'm such a talking head.
So, yeah. So we meet the wife, whose name. It doesn't matter. And then her son Junior. Junior takes your, and this is where we get the normal Bates line.
I gotta talk about this dude. This guy looks like fucking Letterkenny Zuckerberg. He's such a fucking wiener. I don't even. You like this action country?
He does do like a weird kind of, not a Starbucks, a little bit of like maybe a lisp or some kind of weird. He's bored. He's walking that tightrope of being like down home and just kind of like sweet kid, but then also being a little bit on the spectrum, like maybe a little slow.
I think you should say down home or down tard. You know?
Yeah, but he's riding that line real thin, right there, that thin line.
Well, with two things with him. One, do you think his acting was he purposefully like
doing
sticking
that
his
list?
chin out and doing the
You
list?
saw that he had that Beavis overbite.
Yeah, but I don't think that's always. I think
it was a choice, and I didn't hate Junior in this movie.
Real talk, I know we'll save it for the end,
it.
but he might be the MVP. I don't know. Him or Clyde.
Agnes isn't terrible either. The acting, Clyde, Agnes, and Junior aren't terrible. They're decent enough.
Yeah.
But everybody else, that's but for the main three, not
What,
terrible.
Ryan Dunn, was it good?
No.
I thought whenever Agnes had that dream sequence you talked about a little bit ago, that's where I was like, I could see this actress and this kind of story, murder mystery stuff on like the CW or something.
Or the Hallmark Channel.
Something like that. Yeah, very much. Like, I didn't think they were bad. I really didn't. But I thought, like you said, Junior could be on the spectrum or special needs. I thought the girl was real mean to him, considering he could have been a special needs son. She's like, get the fuck away from me, Junior. I hate you.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just kind of mean in general.
Yeah.
She's going to like, she's got that bitchy.
I'm the cute bitch.
I'm the bitch. I don't like anything anymore. Everything sucks. My best friend's dead. And I can't get over it and move on. And blah blah blah. And so she's got the attitude now. For the most part, doesn't want to be here. But anyway, Junior takes her on the tour of the grounds, show her around and what her responsibilities will be while she works there. He takes her to the prop and makeup shed where they find Agnes's ex-boyfriend Ben, shirtless Dracula, half naked and making out with Hannah. Junior, they get like, there's a big art thing about this. They
Don't
make
fuck
a thing.
on the clock.
And yeah, again, Junior has that young child simple mentality, like, what do I tell you about the SCX? He doesn't say sex. He doesn't curse. He's like
almost kind of Bobby Boucher-ish a little bit. And don't be having a sex on the clock.
That is a good comparison. He is somewhat like, yeah, for sure.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, it's pretty close. So Agnes and Hannah and Ben leave, and Junior resumes Agnes's tour. They walk the trail. They talk. Agnes is scared when Wayne, the gay stage actor who thinks this is going to be his big leaping off point to a career, leaps out at them in costume with a chainsaw, scares them. We also meet
a
Zeke.
motherfucking chainsaw.
Yep.
What?
All right, Limp Bizkit. We also meet Zeke, who's another worker there. This guy definitely is, they say, like on the spectrum, like he's on the simple side.
I was going to ask about this, and also, what is up with this whimsical fucking like Lifetime or Hallmark fucking music they're playing during this whole part? It's like
it almost was like trying to get you in a lighthearted mood. I thought that too.
So much whimsy.
Yeah.
So much whimsy. So now they come across Akimbo, the Asian guy, who works. I think his name is Akimbo Tanaka.
Yeah, everybody has. It's like, dude, I think his grandpa was like a suicide bomber or something.
Something like that.
Abadoo.
What are you staring at, Swan?
Stop looking at me, Akimbo.
So basically, Akimbo, they say, works all over the park. He's like the main electrician and animatronic guy. And it turns out he worked on the dragon that killed Lily, but he blames it on the Octane guy that was his department.
What the fuck is up with everybody's name in this movie?
Yeah, weird names.
Like,
nobody has a great name except for Ben, but everybody's got like a little bit of a strange name.
Yeah, but it's spelled like Bein. There's two Z's. It's silent.
When they first said that too, I thought that was like a career. Like, I was like, what is an Octane?
Well, that's
guy?
exactly. Because we're gonna come back to it later. It turns later there's a guy named Octane, but but again with the subtitles on, and when he says Octane, like the gas, I'm like, Is that like a thing? I thought the same thing. The Octane guys are a guy hired just to work with the gas? That's his thing?
Hey,
like,
go
okay.
easy on him. He's under a lot of pressure.
Well done,
there's
sir.
some line in the movie at some point. That was good. That was real good. Yeah, there's one line where they're like, there's only one employee that could have pulled the propane lever. And I was like, what are you talking about?
He has
like,
Hulk strength or
yeah.
something. So don't they have like those giant wrench? Whatever.
I guess.
We're not going to do this movie's job for it.
Anyway, at the end of the scene, Akimbo invites Agnes to the big employee bonfire tonight. That's kind of like kicks off their season, like the big pre-opening bonfire for all the employees.
Yeah, Junior's being a real stick in the mud about it. He's like, well, I guess they do that, and it's not property or something like that. That's fucking, I don't know.
So we cut to the bonfire party.
Now, hold on.
Okay.
He's got the big pickup line, though. You know the sneaky line where it's like, bring
Oh,
your
yeah.
boyfriend.
Yes,
bring
Akimbo
your
does.
boyfriend if you'd like.
Yep.
I don't have a boyfriend.
She goes, I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, I like that they threw that line in there.
Yeah, the sneaky one. Yeah.
Sneaky snack.
So we cut to the bonfire. Everyone's there hanging out, drinking, partying around the bonfire. Agnes arrives with Clyde, who Wayne tries to flirt with and hit on a little bit. Agnes tells Clyde that she brought him here to be her lookout so she can go get a closer look at the dragon that killed Lily.
She could play Detective Snoopy Tits.
That's right. And Clyde's a little disappointed in this because he wanted to hang out and make fun of Hannah's fake tits. But keep that in mind. He says Hannah's fake tits. We're going to come back to that one later.
I knew.
I think I missed that. Wow.
So the two of them sneak off. Meanwhile, Ben talks to Hannah into sneaking off with him to go fool around in the cornfield. So we cut to them. Hannah and Ben end up fucking in the middle of the cornfield. She's riding him on top, and we do get to see her tits.
Like
now,
briefly,
but you do get
Her
to see. There's two quick shots of her tits. Now remember, I'm pretty sure we just said fake tits. And they literally said it. Clyde says fake tits. And I'm fucking sorry, but there's no fucking way that those tits are fake.
Very natural breasts.
Those tits should never be referred to as fake tits. They are clearly natural.
As a fake tit expert.
That is goddamn right. I have never seen fake tits look so small and flat. These boobies are one step away from being these sad Nev Campbell titties.
They're like two suicide notes hanging off a chest.
Yeah. And honestly, here's my thing.
Sad.
I would have no issues with these tits if they didn't actually say they were supposed to be fake tits. If they knew they were these tits, that these were the tits that they had in the movie. This is the girl's tits we have. This is what we got to work with. Take out the line fake. Just say, we're going to make fun of Hannah's tits. Or we're going to just, don't use the word fake. Just let them be tits. And just take fake out of the script. And I would not have a problem with this.
As a boob lover in general, I don't think I'm going to shame anybody's tits. Even if they're tragic tits, they're still tits.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's my point, is the fact they use the word fake. Those are clearly natural, not fake. Don't use the word fake if you know you're not going to have the fake, big balloon, fake titties.
But were they just writing the character as being kind of a diva? And I mean that guy, because he was kind of snarky the whole time and just pissy about shit. I mean, was he just like her fake tits? Like, because I think they kind of insinuate throughout the film that he's gay. You know, and I think the way they kind of wrote
Clyde?
I think so.
You think Clyde's gay? Wayne's the gay. I don't think Clyde's gay.
Now, Wayne is not so subtly gay.
Wayne is not so, he's very, not subtle gay.
Clyde at tops, because he has guy lighter on in certain scenes. I'm like,
It's also the year, 2012.
Just
the year.
a couple times when they reference him and her, he was like, ooh, and then I don't know. I just kind of thought they were, that's what I took from it.
I never thought Clyde was gay.
Maybe not.
He's probably seen a couple up close, but he still likes to high five the clam bake.
Yeah. There you go.
That's in the Bible, I think.
I just don't like the words that use fake.
Yeah.
It
that was
us,
my bugaboo as well, sir.
It leads to a false sense of excitement, like, oh, we're gonna get some nice big fake titties. No, that is false advertising. Just take the word fake out, no problem. Just say we're gonna make fun of her tits, or make fun of Hannah, or her
Yeah, just make
Hannah's
fun of
sluttiness.
Hannah.
They were
Just-
make fun of Hannah. Just leave her tits out of it.
She's kind of a fucking doofus.
Yeah, she's a doofus, kind of a whore, whatever, fine. But just
No shame in that game.
no,
Right.
just leave the word fake out, and you solve your problem. I have no issue otherwise. That's my rant for that is that the fake part.
And welcome back to another episode of Old Man Shakes Fist at Cloud.
Anyway, while they're fucking, Zeke, the geek, as they call him, creeps up on them and starts watching them from the corn and starts jerking off.
Shucking his corn.
Yep, yeah, he is. We see a giant harvesting tractor or thrasher or whatever they
Thresher, yes.
thresher start up nearby. Hannah says she thinks she's heard something. Of course, Ben don't give a fuck and just
No.
wants to keep banging.
Oh, you didn't hear the giant industrial fucking machinery tractor? Like a chainsaw. What?
So they're banging. Raya's Hannah's about to come. They spot the harvester thingy, thresher, whatever.
She's about to go.
Coming through the corn right at them. Ben rolls over, pushes Hannah out of the way, and into the path of the harvester, which cuts her down to shreds, cuts her into shreds her to pieces. Ben, with his pants still down around his ankles, is unable to get away, and so he also ends up getting shredded by the thresher's spinning blades. All the partygoers hear the screams. They rush off to check it out. Clyde gets there first, spots Zeke running from the scene, covered in blood, and tackles him to the ground. All the others show up as Agnes is looking, and so Agnes starts goes into like Sherlock detective mode. She starts overlooking the murder scenes, picks up one of Hannah's breast implants. Again, this is my problem. This is my problem. If those were the fake tits, god damn, she needs a better plastic surgeon. Get her money back. Those are the worst fake tits I've ever seen. And I'm tired of seeing this gag where, here's my fake boobie implant that comes out. We've seen it so many times with the knife, somebody stabs an implant out. No, that shit ain't happening. If she gets shredded, that fucking titty bubble, that thing would be popped and shredded. There'd be no perfectly little tit bubble on the end of this thresher blade. That thing's gone. And I think it goes back to the fact, again, that titty ain't fake. That was a natural, saggy little titty. I am pissed at the tits in this movie. Do not let me to believe we get good fake tits if that's the shit we're gonna show, and then have the audacity to put a fake tit on a thresher blade and for us to believe in a second that that's supposed to be that girl's tit. Unless that was Ben. Maybe Ben had some fake man tits implanted in him, and that's why he's always going around shirtless. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I don't like it.
Marshall, I got it. It was her clit.
There you go.
She has got the China clit.
Pendulous China clit. I wanted to bring this up, the whole thing earlier when the dad and Agnes, the name of a 7-year-old woman that lives Bridge.
Yeah.
When they're on the steps, it's like, is it lady cramps?
Yo.
Yeah.
Jeez, Dad.
Here, I got a joke for you after
Okay.
your rant that I read yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Blow my nose. I'm listening.
So the joke says, my neighbor has huge boobs and keeps walking around the garden topless. I sure wish his wife would do that.
Yeah.
So the one I did want to bring this up because I actually did not catch that it was a boob implant. I knew she picked up something bloody, but I didn't know what that was because I think the whole fake tit thing, it obviously stuck with you and Nachos. It did not stick with me. But the one joke in the movie I wanted to point out, and I don't know if you caught it, but when they're like fucking in the cornfield, she goes, wait, like you said, the big industrial tractor. She goes, I think I heard something in the bushes. And he goes, it's corn stalks.
Corn stalks.
Yeah, so then when they run up and catch Zeke, they're like, he's over here. What were you doing, whacking off in the bushes? And he just goes, corn stalks.
Good call, Doug. Good call.
It made me laugh. I liked it.
I will say, yeah, I may have missed that. But that's good. I'll give him.
Also, I wouldn't tackle middle-aged, heavy-set dude in suspenders who probably still has a boner.
Yeah.
Teach their own.
So, well, we just got done with all that. So Junior at this point shows up, calms everyone down, and tells Akimbo to call 911 and for Agnes to control her friend Clyde. And he leaves to go tell his parents. I gotta get my parents. We gotta tell them what happened. We jump to Agnes talking to her dad, who has arrived on the scene. The dad says that for now, this is being labeled an accident and that Zeke is being taken in for questioning. Agnes calls bullshit on this, saying, how can a tractor accidentally start up and run over people?
It's a maximum overdrive.
Yes. I'm like, that's a very good point to make. That's a good point.
Also, fucking the sheriff is like Mel from Sleepaway Camp. It was an accident! And also, is this Jaws because they're doing the same fucking thing?
I wrote it right here.
Sorry, Doug.
Jaws.
I mean to step on your
No,
dick.
you're good. Keep going.
No, but that's it. That's exactly it. It's like, this is a bloodline for the fucking town. It's like,
he makes
you have
it seem like...
Bam Margera in your town.
Well, and he said he was like, we can't ruin the town's attraction or whatever.
That happened. They definitely do that again later, too.
This thing cannot be that big like a beach in Jaws.
Right.
That it's bringing in tourists and millions of dollars or something.
Yeah.
And hundreds of thousands of dollars even.
Right.
It was ridiculous. There was clearly a murder. They would shut it down.
Oh, shut it
for
down.
Sure.
And on top of this, isn't this 2 years running? We had a chick barbecued.
Yeah.
Last year we had a chick barbecue, and now you get 2 more kids just slice and dice.
But they weren't technically on the
That's right.
property.
That's right. What,
You got lawyered, sir!
That is what they said. Technically, it was not on the haunt property. It was, or during work hours. So yeah. So anyway, they talk some more for Clyde. He tells Clyde to take Agnes home, and we move on. Now the movie suddenly turns into a really shitty music video from like the 90s.
Yes, it fucking does.
As we jump to Agnes walking through a cemetery while there's like shitty emo soft hard rock. I don't know what you want to fucking call it, emo rock.
Him would be playing in the fucking background.
And I swear to God, like it's so like you have the sun setting in the background. Agnes is wearing this black shirt with her shoulders up, and she's just solemnly walking through a cemetery as this music plays. And I 110% was waiting for her to start singing. Like I thought this is a fucking music video from like 1994 or something like that.
Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Up inside.
It
It was a very weird
I actually like
insert.
Evanescence,
Yeah.
but
I know you do. There's your shame song.
fuck you, man. Evanescence is good.
Good work, good.
I got a signed Evanescence ticket over there by Amy Lee hanging on my wall.
They're coming to town with Muse.
I know. I can't afford the tickets.
They're very pricey.
And I'm leaving town.
I looked them up. It was like the cheapest one's like $40 for like the back little dead last row.
Schmah.
I still if I wasn't such a broke ass bastard, I would happily do that, but nah, I can't afford them.
They're too pricey these days.
Speaking of, sign up for the Patreon.
There you go. Help my broke ass out if I sign up for our Patreon page.
For mere $1 a month, you can help Marshall live his dream.
And see Evanescence again.
Actually, that wouldn't, even if they did, that money wouldn't help me with that because that goes to the show. It goes to a different account that helps pay for show shit, not my shit.
For mere $1 a month, you too can buy an awesome T-shirt.
You can buy a nice, awesome like this snazzy "Why She Talk" shirt from our Horrible Horror podcast, HorribleHorrorPodcast.com merch page. I can do this.
So organic.
So organic and natural.
Damn, Coffee Doug.
Yeah.
If you were to go to the HorribleHorror.com merch site, what shirt would you buy?
I'm not sure. What are the options,
Well,
Marshall?
other than just, like I said, the sweet "Why She Talk" shirt, you can also get yourself a Moon Goon shirt, an OG Horrible Horror shirt. You can get, you can also get yourself some pint glasses for your beverages, for those who like your pumpkin spice beers, because that's all the rage these days.
That's
get yourself one of those. You can get one of those with the alternate Nachos McWerrow hand-drawn design.
Oh, what?
On one of those. You can also get yourself some pins and stickers. You can get yourself a mouse pad, some hoodies.
A koozie?
Koozies. Tumblers, I think, are still there. I'm not sure I might have taken those down, but you can get yourself a nice.
Well, that makes them limited edition.
Yeah, you can get yourself a
Get them while they're hot.
a normal head shirt. You can get yourself a No-Yo Department of Fish and Wildlife Department
good.
shirt. Yeah, you get all sorts of stuff there.
Is there a mouth blood shirt?
I do not have a mouth blood shirt
Yeah,
yet.
pending.
Yeah,
the
pending.
Blue Lightning, the fucking chopping
You
mall.
can do a I'm Blue Chop and Mall shirt.
That popped up on my fucking playlist the other day, and I'm at work, and I'm just fucking laughing so hard. My coworker comes, he goes, "Mike, you good?" I'm like, "No, dude, I'm blue." He's like, "What? You're fucking crazy, dude."
You're what? What were you?
I'm blue,
This might be one of the embarrassing songs I'd play.
You get a pass. You made it a bit. You commit to the bit.
Do commit to the bit. All right. You probably lost another 5 listeners right there. Brings us down to a whopping
What, because
2.
I'm on this episode?
It was fun talking merchantise with you casually and naturally.
So natural.
We
and organic.
actually didn't plan that, listeners. That was exciting.
And so we're a shitty music video. We're back in the cemetery. She finds Lily's grave and places the burnt, charred butterfly necklace down by the tombstone, which made me wonder, like, how did she have that? Because she was wearing that when she died. So that thing would have been charred and burnt to that girl's flesh. Like, did she go to, like, the coroner or the police and say, hey, can I get that necklace back off of her body? That would have been either one.
That was her first job that she got fired from, Marshall. Afterwards. She was working with the coroner and she was taking things off the body.
That's why she got fired?
That's one of the many
she
jobs
fucked her
she got fired
corpse.
at. Yes, yeah. Many jobs she got fired from.
I thought that was weird. Like, why would she have that? How would she get her hands back? Her hands back on that necklace?
She took a claw cracker and hit her pussy to, like, crack it open because it was burnt shut. Then she poured Maul's barbecue sauce on it, was going down, and then stole her necklace. And that's why she got fired.
All right.
I think you're craving some barbecue sauce.
That's your second
time
barbecue
we've talked
sauce
about it.
reference
Yeah.
now, man. What's going on? Do we have to have?
I expect a third by the end of the podcast.
You bet your bippy. Yo, barbecued bippy.
So the music and the scene, just like you said, it's just so out of place.
Yeah, but she has the necklace
Especially-
on later.
Yeah, it's another thing. So she puts it on Lily's grave, and like that's the scene. Which again, the way it's shot and filmed is completely different from everything else in this movie. But then later in the movie, she has the necklace again. She's wearing it, so she doesn't. She had to have gone back to get it. I think
When she's wearing it, is it burnt still?
I think
I don't remember. That.
So she leaves it there, and then at some point has to go back to pick it up.
But what fucks me up is while this is happening, she looks a couple rows over, and there's this black dude with no, like, open shirt screaming, "Baby!" I'm not singing it.
Yeah.
Nope. You're doing a little kiss from the rose.
And she's like, it's like, you're stepping on my toes.
Dude, I played so much music. Like, if I get hit by copyright shit out here, it ain't happening. Like,
Yeah, hey, if we
not
sing
yet
it, we're
anyway.
good. Baby!
So we hard cut to a montage of opening night at the Bates Motel haunted part. So it's opening night, big thing. Agnes is working the gift shop. Clyde comes in to say hi and check on her since this marks the 1-year anniversary of Lily's death. We get more montage footage of customers going around doing all this shit. Montage. Time passes. Agnes dozes off because she's a great opening night. Packed house, and she just falls asleep at the register. Apparently,
Yeah, people murdered. Her friend murdered last year and this year. Another thing, you talking about, I guess, Seal in the graveyard. Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I thought music was gonna kick in at some point because she's taking the necklace off. I thought this was going to be, and you just say in montage, like her getting ready to go against find the killer.
Her
and
Rocky
kill them.
training
Yes.
montage.
I was like, what are they doing here? Is this going to... No, I was more thinking like Nightmare on Elm Street.
I knew you were going to fucking say that, Doug. I knew it.
Alice getting ready to go fight Freddy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought it was going to turn into, and it did not.
Nope.
But then you mentioned in the song, and you sang the word montage. Yeah, that's...
It's her fucking training, like in one of the fucking haunts, like punching on a dead skeleton, scarecrow. And then it cuts to like the killer, and he's running up an escalator, like at an incline. That's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
I do love Rocky IV though.
So
Who doesn't?
yeah, let's get where were we? So
Happy birthday, Paul.
she dozed off. She's sleeping again on the job, and she has another dream. She has enough time to get into REM sleep on the job. She has another dream of this masked figure in black, the same one that we saw at the beginning of the movie that tied Lily up to the post, stalking her through the corn and Lily on fire again. So basically the same dream.
Actually, this was kind of okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
When she wakes up, she leaves the shop, heads out into the crowd of customers.
We're not going to talk about her Steve Martin headgear.
Oh, the knife through the head hat?
Yeah. That's fun.
If you want to, we can't. I was just going to skip
No,
over
that's
that.
it. Moving on.
So Junior sneaks up on her and scares her. He expresses his sympathy, I can speak, about what happened to Lily last year and tells her that everyone that works here is family to him and he was crushed too and it broke his heart, blah, blah, He then convinces her to join him on the last hayride of the night. So this bitch slept through her entire shift, apparently.
Oh, and she's even trying to dip out like fucking 15 minutes early.
Yeah, she's a terrible employee. No wonder she's been fired.
Dude, Agnes sucks.
And nobody went in there to buy anything.
Apparently not.
But-
or they just went in and stole everything because
Yeah, right.
bitches sleep at the counter.
Yeah, but this place is so busy that people come from all over the United States to support this town,
Yeah.
but nobody buys a fucking thing in
You know
this
what?
gift
They
shop.
didn't put her in the main merch shop. She's all the way the fuck out.
She's in like little shitty one off in the back somewhere.
next to an outhouse or something.
Yeah.
Where they don't even sell like fucking kernel corn. No,
Kettle corn.
thank you.
So they get him on the hayride, and they're riding the hay. At one point, Wayne leaps out at them with the chainsaw, scares Agnes, which he does so well that she kicks him in the face out of pure reflex and instinct.
Das Boot.
Wayne gets pissed off and storms off. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm out of here! I'm blah blah blah."
I did like his response though. Like, what are you doing? He's like, what? Doing my fucking job? Like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Junior hops off the trailer and goes after Wayne, trying to calm him down. The tractor rolls on. We get several more shots of the various scenes from the hayride. A group of 3 other riders gossip and talk about Ben and Hannah's death, saying that it was the ghost of Lily that killed them.
Oh, that might have been.
Yeah, so now they're trying to hint at a paranormal killer, blah blah blah.
Do you smell that? It smells like red herring.
Yeah.
I can say it smells like bullshit, but you know, both work.
Yeah.
Both work.
Smells like barbecue.
Jesus Christ. Get you some ribs or something after
Yeah.
this, all right? Calm down.
You're not wrong, bud. That's gonna happen.
Where were we? The tractor pulls up to another scene. Junior has caught back up with the trailer, and he hops back up as the sawmill scene starts up. And it's we've seen this before in one of the montages. It's like this old sawmill, but instead of lumber, it's body parts that they're supposed to be cutting up. Only this time, the usual prop dummy on the conveyor belt has been replaced by Wayne, who has been bound and gagged with duct tape to the conveyor belt thing. The saw blade starts up, and I do love the fact that whoever strapped and taped Wayne to the table was at least nice and courteous enough to place a pillow underneath his head for him.
Jesus Christ.
I
man.
did like that touch.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it's like, here, I'm going to murder you, but I'm going to make you comfortable. Here's a pillow for your head. I thought that was really funny. So Agnes and Junior knows Wayne, and Junior's all surprised because he's like, "Hey, I just gave Wayne the rest of the night off. I don't know what he's doing here. Why is he here?" Agnes realizes it's a real saw blade instead of the prop one.
It wasn't.
The other riders get
Spoiler alert.
the other
Sorry,
riders, the ride goers get pissed off at Agnes for freaking out and standing up, which is blocking their view of the scene. The saw blades roar to life and cut into Wayne, cutting him in half. Agnes is like, stop it, somebody help him. Do that whole thing again. The other rider's like, sit down, bitch, you're blocking my view, and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
dude, they're really mean to her. Wait, so the killer gave Wayne half the night off?
Yeah. Or he only had to work half a shift.
Yeah.
So,
Also, where's the gore?
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of blood in this one. Or
There's-
gore.
I mean, fake blood, but like,
Yeah.
could you just throw fucking hot dogs or some barbecue or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that could have been a little better. I agree. That kill.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible. Like, we've seen worse, but it definitely could have been much better for sure. So the tractor pulls away from the scene and drives down the trail. As it pulls out of the mill, Agnes turns back and sees the masked figure with the long, stringy hair and the black robe standing there holding onto Wayne's severed hand, which they use to wave goodbye to Agnes.
This would have been cool if they cut it about 20 seconds shorter.
Yeah.
Because they really milk it. It goes on for a while.
Yeah, it does. This could have been like just a quick 5-second shot of the tractor pull away. Agnes looks back. There's the person waving the hand. Boom. But they linger. It does stretch out.
With lots of parts. Well, if we got a minute, guess what I did last night?
Well, okay, what did you do last night?
I went to the Eureka Corn Maze and Haunted Hayride.
Well, hey, Coincidence? I don't know, but sounds good.
I don't know.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Good.
I was with a gal, and she doesn't fare too well in those scenarios. So there's a dude with a
Oh,
chainsaw.
Sarah doesn't like this stuff, huh?
That's
That's weird because she watches horror movies with you, but she doesn't like haunted houses.
Well, I mean, she's growing, she's learning.
Okay.
So the guy with the chainsaw pops out and gets her a little bit, and he walks away. I was like, dude, she really likes chainsaws. And he just came back and it was a good time.
Well played. Now let me ask you this while we're on this little tangent.
Yeah,
sidemark.
yeah.
What's your feeling on haunted hayrides?
If done properly, as an experienced ex-scare actor, I did a couple tours at the Darkness. Might have gotten an award or two. Anyway,
I think those are just write-ups from HR for sexual harassment. I don't know if those are called awards, but hey, you do.
Yeah, were they scared? Okay.
I didn't know that. That's one of my dreams is working at the Darkness or something. Did you like it or hate it or?
I fucking loved it.
Hey,
really?
Coffee. You can have your question later. I'm asking. No, I'm just fucking.
Okay.
You hold it till the intros are over.
Oh, you were in the middle of answering Marshall's question.
We were just having a discussion.
I just got back to the table. Sorry.
Yeah, we were killing time. Basically, he won on a hayride. I want to know what
we were taking a coffee break.
What his
I like it.
thoughts on hayrides were, because I'm always like, I like him sort of as like, especially if you're like for like, I guess if they're a family friend for kids, but like if for haunted, like I really do with like a haunted house walkthrough, because I never found hayrides to be that scary, because you're like they can't come closer. You're on a hayride that's moving like. And you like this one, you stop at a scene, watch the scene, like okay, you move on. Like I don't even know if hayrides are really that scary. They're kind of fun, but I really do a haunted house.
They're designed to scare kids more than adults.
Well, I'm a big fan of RuPaul's Hey
Ride. Nice. I like that one.
So how they did it is you take the haunted hayride to the corn maze, and I'm dead serious. As soon as we got there, the group of people in front of us, some dude popped out of a coffin, and some shit clown slapped a scare actor. You don't do that.
Yeah.
And also, what I've learned is if you're going to scare somebody, do it at an arm's length distance, too.
Wow. So you saw one of them get hit last night.
You got to slap. Yeah. But still, it's the principle. And,
I got hit by the chainsaw one year in a haunted, not a hayride, but on a haunted house. I took a chainsaw to the leg, to the shin bone.
A what?
That hurt. What?
A what?
Chainsaw.
A motherfucking chainsaw. What? But scare from a distance, and some dude told me he was going to eat my butt.
Yeah.
And I said, do not. You're going to have a bad time. Neither of us are going to like this.
Now, back to what Coffee was saying.
Yes.
I do think years ago, I don't know about now, but years ago, I thought I always did want to work at a Darkness or a haunted house. So I thought that would be really cool. A lot of fun to do that.
What's stopping you? You still can.
I know way back in high school, I know Aaron, I don't know who that is anymore because it's been so I've kind of forgotten who he is at this point. But Aaron,
dude,
yeah, there he is.
dude, what's up?
He did work. I forget the name of the.
It's like Silo X or something?
No, it wasn't a big one. It wasn't the big one. It was one of the mom and pop ones that you don't see anymore, unfortunately. But he worked at a haunted house here in Belleville in high school. I wish I could remember the name of it. And as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, no shit, that's it. But yeah, he did that for our season, so that's cool. We can call. You know what? Let's take a quick break. We're gonna call him and get the name of that real quick. So, because fuck it, why not? So, we're gonna call Aaron real quick, and we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. So now to took a smoke break, and while it's a smoke break, we got Mr. Aaron Southworth on the phone, still enjoying his hiatus. But we got him on the phone to bring up the fact that, like I said before the break, he worked at a haunted house here in Belleville back in high school. I couldn't remember the name of it, so he's going to... Aaron, anyway, there, say hi. You're on the mic. People can hear you.
You're on air.
Totally. How's it going, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
I'm very happy to kind of be back on, kind of, even though I'm remote, but it's cool. And plus, I miss Doug. I haven't seen Doug in so long.
I miss you too, pal. Well, what I'm doing, Marshall's already had me fill out an application. I'm trying to take the Aaron position, but nobody can fill your shoes.
I mean, my ass is in your chair, and I'm farting, but it's not the same, buddy.
Not the same.
That's your chair now, pal.
Well, we'll throw it out. Also, I haven't been wearing underwear either, so...
Yeah, it's been making the recordings really awkward. I've been meaning to talk to you about that, but you'll probably get a letter from HR in the week.
We have an HR?
Anyway, what do you remember about working? You worked at this haunted house. It was downtown Belleville, if I remember correctly, back in high school.
Yeah, it was downtown Belleville, and it was something I don't remember the name of it. It was because it was kind of lame. It was like CJ's Attraction or CJ's Haunted House, or I don't even know if it was CJ, but it was something like that. And I gotta admit, the guy who ran it was the neighbor of one of our mutual friends, Ty. He
Dropped my phone.
For kids who work in the haunted house, and so we're like, okay, cool. And I gotta admit, this guy threw a ton of money into it. Like, it was an abandoned building, but it was, still had good bones, and he put a lot of money into it. We put up the walls. It was 2 stories, and you went up some stairs. You started on the ground floor, walked around, went up some stairs, walked around, and came back down and out the door. But it was big.
Aaron, where was this in Belleville? Just I'm trying to picture it.
It was on Main Street.
Yeah.
Down by.
Was it down by the Ritz? The old Ritz?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
across the street from the Ritz, or
Wow.
down that area?
Huh.
Just a little bit further down from the Ritz. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he had pretty cool rooms. He had like a cemetery with dry ice, and people would pop out of coffins. You got to walk through the cemetery. It's a big room. It wasn't like the cheapy kind of local haunted houses where everything's real tight and you go through this real tight maze and it's all dark. It was like actual scenes. The room that I worked in was, you walk in after the cemetery, you walk in this pitch black room, completely dark. And me and, usually my buddy Ty and one other person would be on the wall holding on to chains. The chains were
That's right, the chain room. Okay.
The chains are threaded through these rings, these metal rings. So whenever people would get into the dark room, we'd push down on the strobe light button, and then the strobe lights would be going off, and we'd come running at them as fast as we could, and the chains would go, and then it strobe light, and we're like, we're pulling the chains back and forth, that's making all kinds of noise. And we stepped it up a notch. We took off our shirts, and we had like shaved heads at the time.
What is it with people that work in a haunted house and don't wear shirts? Because in this movie, we're talking about shirtless Dracula. In this movie, now you're saying, yeah, we took off our shirts in the haunted house.
Twinkula.
We were in high school, and we were on the wrestling team. We were in good shape.
Yeah.
We took off our shirts, covered ourselves in blood. We had like bald heads, and we're just running, screaming. And honestly, looking at it, it was pretty fucking terrifying. You see this like figure running at you, covered in blood, no hair, just going with like these chains smashing around. It was awesome. We scared the shit out of a lot of people.
Yeah.
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 I used to remember, like, talking about that, and like, we were talking, like, it was so cool. Like, again, I wish I could remember the name of it. Like, but I just want to see, like, maybe remember like the old Villa Hills volunteer fire department, like the mom and pop. Haunted houses that a lot of them were really good. They just unfortunately aren't around anymore because of the big corporate ones have kind of taken over now. But
Like a JC's almost?
was that it? JC's?
JZ.
Yes. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know
I
things.
was saying CJ's, JC's.
There we go. JC. Yeah. So yeah, I want. Cool. I just want to get. We were talking about that. I thought I'd get you on. Give us a little story time there.
Can we call you in 15 so you can help me with the budget game?
You're on your own on that one, pal.
Damn it, Aaron. Okay.
I will say, Ty and I almost got kicked out of there because at the time, again, being in high school, we felt we were cool. And we were on the roof in between shifts, like smoking clove cigarettes.
Oh.
Cloves.
Yeah. You were one of those cool kids.
Gothalicious, but
We're trying to figure ourselves out. I think we went through a clove stage. And the owner busts on the roof and goes, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" We're like, he caught us. We're smoking. He's like, "No, that's not cigarettes. Those are funny cigarettes." We're like, funny cigarettes? I'm like, I guess they are kind of funny. They're cloves.
Yeah.
He's like, "They're not cigarettes. You guys smoke weed." I'm like, "No, we're really not." Honestly, you don't, I guess, because we like showed him the pack. We're like, "We bought this from the tinderbox, dude." He's just like, "Well, you shouldn't be smoking." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough. You got us."
That's great.
And now I'm looking at myself as an adult, and I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, because you don't know. Like,
you kids and your damn vapes and your jazz cabbage.
I know what vape marijuana smells like. I actually do because I use it, but
Responsibly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
All right. Well, again, man, thanks for popping off for a few minutes. We got to get back to this shitty movie and finish this out. But it was cool hearing you. I'm looking forward to getting you back on the show when you're finally done with your hiatus. And we're going to get moving. We're going to get going back. So everybody say bye, Aaron.
Bye.
Bye, Aaron. Stay spooky.
All right. Bye, guys. All right. So, yeah, there's Aaron.
That was cool.
Little regalia for a little story. Now, unfortunately, like I said, we do got to get back to this this movie. Finish this out. That's maybe one of our longest, I guess, offshoots, side quests.
That's all right. They're good. You need them.
So, I got to figure out where the hell we were. Where did we leave off? So we left off with Wayne's severed hand waving goodbye to Agnes as they pull away. Agnes tries to get Junior to turn around and look behind him as well, but he's only concerned with trying to calm her down in front of the other customers, so he never turns around and looks behind him. Agnes gets fed up with this, hops off the tractor, and runs off down the trail. Agnes now somehow fucking gets lost on the trail and has to ask someone for directions to the sawmill.
It's been like 1 minute. One minute. Yeah.
Not even that. So here's incoming rant again here. So first of all, are you fucking kidding me? How the hell does she get lost on a singular trail? All you have to do is follow the trail to the sawmill, which you just came from. You follow the path, and you're literally like right there. Like, how do you get lost? It's so stupid. And what makes it even worse is the person she's asking directions from is the same costume person she just saw waving bye to her with Wayne's severed hand. The same one. She's like, oh my God, Junior, look. And she goes up to this person like, hey, I'm kind of lost. How do I get to Sawmill? Now, like, holy shit, you're the one holding the severed hand. And she doesn't freak out about this at all. It's such bullshit.
Marshall.
Yes,
in
Nachos.
her defense, she's a fucking idiot.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
I wondered that too. I was like, did they change the mask? Like, in
No.
between? Okay, I couldn't
It's the
tell.
exact same
Wow,
person.
That's crazy.
And it's not like there's multiple of these people working. You never see this person like working the event. Like,
what do
any
you
of the
mean
other
these
scenes.
people?
These people.
oh, you mean scare actors, right?
Yeah. I also said there's. What did I say? I said there's only one of these persons. Anyway, this person. There's only one person in this costume. It's not like there's like a whole clown scene. There's like a bunch of different clowns around. She asked one clown and who looks different from another clown. No, it's all just this one person in a black outfit with this mask and his stringy hair. It's the only person you ever see. There's not a second, third, or fourth of these people walking around doing other scenes in this. It's one person, and she just saw him waving a severed hand goodbye to her, and then she stops and asks her for directions and has absolutely, like, completely forgets that's the same person you just saw a minute ago waving a severed hand at her. God. This is fucking stupid.
She should have, like, brought the hand in and done, like, some gang handshake. She like, pop up, the 10-hit combo kind of shit.
Anyway, so
this movie.
So anyway, she gets pointed in the right direction by the costume figure, and again waves goodbye to her. Sorry, again with the same severed hand, which again means that the costume person had to have been holding the severed hand in her hand while talking to Agnes directly in front of her.
Hand in hand.
It's not. She doesn't have it behind her back. She's holding it. And Agnes is talking to her, asking for directions, and doesn't comment again on the fact that she's holding the severed hand. It's like, hey, how do I get to the sawmill? Okay, thanks. Okay, bye. And then she turns and waves to her again with the severed hand.
What Killer X should have done is taken Wayne's hand and, like, put the, kept the pointer finger out, and then, like, handed up the robe, and, like, no way! And then, like, took it and wiped her brow, and, like, woo, that was close.
There you go.
But fuck me, what do I know?
So Agnes makes it back to the sawmill where she finds the Kimbo just sitting there.
Slice!
She tells him that what she saw, that's just Kimbo Slice.
Okay.
But I see where you're going.
He
Rest
couldn't let it
in
go.
peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
She tells him what she saw and asks where Wayne is. Kimbo tells her that he just got back from being on break. He doesn't know, he just got here. Which is weird because this is the last hayride of the night. So if it's over, why would you go on break right before closing time? That makes zero sense.
And why wouldn't he know who was covering the shift while he was gone?
Yeah, because somebody
really
would have come
me.
to relieve him and say, hey, you're on break, go. Yeah, that's another,
Or told him he took a half day.
We already did that joke. We already did it. So, shh. Okay. Don't make me turn your mic off. All right.
And the man I used to be.
So at this point, Junior walks up now. He releases Akimbo to meet up with the pickup tractor because it's the end of the night. So Akimbo leaves. He turns to leave too, telling Agnes that he'll see her tomorrow, and he leaves Agnes alone at the sawmill. Time passes. Agnes is back at the front of the park trying to call Clyde on her cell phone, but she has no reception out here on the farm.
You know what? I'm dead serious. I will vouch for this. After watching this movie yesterday, I was like, yeah, no cell reception. This is fucking 2000 and blah. Out in Eureka's corn maze, I had no reception.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck me.
Well, and this was 10 years ago.
That too.
Yeah.
You know, I almost thought they would reference later. Junior might reference that they've got a tower or something, but that disrupts it. But they didn't even go that far. They just.
His name's Junior. We named the dog Indiana.
So,
You'll never catch Marcus Brody. He speaks 1,000 languages. He blends into any place. Didn't he get lost in his own museum? Excuse me, sir. Oh, we don't like Indiana Jones movies here?
I'm just watching you.
Just seeing how far you're gonna go with this.
He wouldn't have gotten that far. He hates rats.
So Agnes decides to sneak back to the sawmill to look around. So as she snoops around, she finds the quote-unquote scarecrow mask, which doesn't look anything like a scarecrow.
I know
in
a
my opinion.
scarecrow. It looks nothing like it.
Yeah. That the mystery person was wearing earlier. As she goes to pick it up, out pops Andrew Bates, armed with a rifle, yelling at her to stop and put it back. Agnes spins around, yelling like, "Stop! Wait! I work here." Andrew recognizes her and she tells him that she lost an earring here earlier, and then says, "Okay, well,
This
I guess
ain't
I'm
Friday
gonna go
the
home."
13th part 7.
Yeah.
VII.
VII.
Yeah. I didn't with this scene. So to talk about Hallow's Eve, because re-listening to the 75th podcast, we talked about it. This scene here, the guy comes out, he hears somebody or whatever. It's not that long after the last hayride.
No.
He comes barreling out with a
fucking shotgun.
With a shotgun.
Actually, this was just a mediocre hunter rifle.
Well, okay, all right.
Bolt action.
Well,
Doing your job, Marshall.
and Hallow's Eve, there was a scene where there was like a little ruckus or something, and the guy that works at the haunted house comes out with a shotgun or rifle or whatever, what have you. But isn't that a little overkill? Like, you're showing up with a shotgun? That's kind of insane.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, it was awfully. Okay, I get. Nacho's just trying to like show me text messages or something right now, and
It's actually pictures of my dick.
Yeah.
Quite distracting.
So, she's like, "Hey, I lost the earring here, but whatever. I'm gonna go home." She and leaves. After she walks away, Andrew he leaves too. So that's the scene. Whatever, it's done.
And scene.
And scene. We fade to black, and we cut to someone dropping the unconscious body of one of the girls that was on the last hayride on the floor of some shed or shack or something.
That mouthy
And
chick.
then, yeah, it's one of the mouthy chicks saying, "Sit down, we're blocking our view."
So this is something I got to bring up, and this just a little talking about it. But at this point when that happened, because we all watched this on Tubi. Do you tell people that?
Same.
Or whatever? Yeah. Okay. I had not used Tubi yet, but I knew it was a big horror platform. You know, I knew there was
such a good spread.
Yes, that's what I keep hearing on
if you can get through a couple commercial breaks,
and there you go, and I'll do it too. So I was gonna say, it surprised me that on Tubi, there was nudity and everything. So okay, so they can do that. I guess. So usually when you'd watch a station back in the day, the 90s, 80s, 90s, do that. If it had commercials,
like KLRP,
anything, if it had commercials, you weren't going to get rated R. But now these streaming sites can do commercials. And have rated R. But when they did that commercial break, Marshall, and it cut back to that girl being dropped in the barn, I was like, who the fuck was that? Like, did they? But I'm not about to rewind it to go through all the commercials. I was like, oh,
I want to watch the Tide Bear again.
I thought the commercials fucked shit up, but it did not. So I do recommend Tubi, like you just said, if you can sit through. Now they do like 6 commercials at a time, which kind of
like seriously, just get your phone out for fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah,
go take a
you're
piss,
done.
make ramen, whatever. You know, there's worse shit out there tonight.
So they drop the girl off, Marshall.
Yes, they drop the girl off. And that's it. So the next morning, several of the employees are gathered around the base motel, like the ticketing area. I guess
There has to be a morning after. Wait, no? Okay.
I feel like you've always got something going in your head, which is awesome. It's great.
That hamster wheel never stops. That poor hamster's jacked up.
Do you know the Pee Wee Herman breakfast scene from Big Adventure where it's like dun 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 dun? I feel like that's his brain, where it's like this whole contraption going. Big music.
The Rube Goldberg device. Check out the Pee Wee's Big Adventure episode of Here Comes the Spooky, by the way.
Oh,
shameless plug.
Will do.
It's good.
So what the hell was that? I looked down and just here. That scared me.
It was Pee Wee Herman.
Okay. So Clyde's there too for some reason. He's talking to some ram chick in the background. Agnes goes up to Akimbo and asks him if he's heard from Wayne. Akimbo's like, nope. Agnes says to him, if it makes you feel any better, I talked to my dad this morning, and he said that Zeke was sound asleep in his cell last night, so it couldn't have been him. Akimbo gets pissed off at her, saying that Zeke is his friend, so no, it doesn't make me feel any better. Maybe it's your friend Clyde. You ever think of that? He's the one always writing those dark-ass novels, and he didn't like Wayne hitting on him at the bonfire, so they're trying to set up now maybe Clyde's the killer.
Also, Clyde's an author.
Oh, yeah, he writes stories. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah. Stories. So they get into a back and forth argument at this point. Junior comes racing up in the company hearse, apologizing for being late and asking if anyone's seen Wayne, to which no one responds.
And he looks fucking disheveled. It's
Yes.
the classic, I'm late for work because my flat shirt is halfway hanging off me and I got barbecue sauce all over my wife beater and all that.
Barbecue sauce.
You know what? I'm so tired of the barbecue.
No! Poor Marshall.
No more.
Poor Marshall.
He had like the fancy wife beater going on with
Yeah, he might have had me wearing a wife beater on him.
stains and I'm just saying.
So
Anyway.
he's asking if they've
Yeah,
seen.
no one responds. Agnes pulls Clyde aside and tells him what happened last night with Andrew, and says that it looks like Junior didn't get much sleep either last night, probably out looking for Wayne. That's what they're assuming. They talk some more about possible suspects, basically going through everybody in the movie. Then he tells her that the guy who was arrested for Lily's death was released from prison 2 days ago, the same day that Ben and Hannah were killed, so maybe he's back to get revenge.
Now, wouldn't he lead with that? Wouldn't he go straight to her and say,
Yeah.
"Hey," like, I mean, that would have been a
Yeah,
cell
I agree.
phone
That'd
call.
be like, that's like the opening thing. That's like
Yeah.
the first thing you say. But Clyde tells her that he already looked up his address if they want to go stake him out later tonight. So on that cue, we cut to later that night. Agnes is back home. She changes clothes, grabs a flashlight, sneaks into her dad's room, steals his handgun, and then we see her and Clyde staking out Octave's house. Outside, Agnes finds a white box,
This is so dumb.
which she opens up to find a dead animal carcass inside. A gunshot goes off behind her. She spins around and sees Clyde on his knees, held at gunpoint by Octave, who orders her not to move. Nachos, you have your hand up.
It's because she goes, or Clyde says to fucking Agnes, is like, what if he kills you and rapes me?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
I will give that line a pass.
Clyde tells her, Clyde says, like, put the gun down, Agnes, and Octave recognizes his name, and he relaxes, Ben tells him to come inside so they can talk.
And then we get real acting for once in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, this is also where these two actors, Clyde and Agnes, they're having their back and forth, and it's supposed to be kind of comedy. And that's where I kept feeling like they were leaning towards like murder mystery and the zany music, like you talked about.
Oh my
early
God,
on.
right?
Like it was sometimes they were trying to make this duo almost comedic in a way. He's like, why didn't you tell me? Do you know what I'm talking about when he's talking to her about that's the guy? And
Yeah, I guess they're trying to try to show, like, you know, their
friendship.
their
or
friendship,
something.
like the banter and all that between them. Yeah, I picked up on that. So inside, Aki tells him his story, his background. He calls Agnes's father, you know, and before he sits him down to talk, like, to come pick her up. So while they wait, he tells him the story. He tells him that he liked Lily because she was a sweet girl who never made fun of him or his name, unlike almost everybody else that worked there. He also tells them that he and Agnes's father went to high school together, and that her father asked him not to talk about Lily to Agnes if she ever came around here. But that apparently goes out the window real fast because that's immediately what he does.
Also, everybody was oogling her. I barely oogled her. I mean, I did oogle her a little bit.
A little bit, but not that much.
Just a Google Zoo.
And then again, he goes on to tell the story of what happened the night Lily died. So we cue flashback. And we get this flashback scene of Octay, Akimbo, and Zeke working on the dragon. He tells them that Akimbo made some last-minute adjustments to the dragon and needed Zeke to help him because Zeke was strong enough to turn the bolts or whatever.
Isn't it like the requirement when you fill out a job application? Can you lift at least 80 pounds?
Nobody's like 50 pounds, 40
Right.
pounds. Yeah.
Can you use Zeke's strength to turn wrench go good?
Yeah. Do you need simpleton strength or is clean up right? Because if I would have said retard strength,
Oh! Marshall, we don't say retard.
Sorry.
We say remedial.
Doug looks so confused.
I am.
or downtard. Or fucktard, actually.
Fucktard. That's my new one. Yeah.
That was your easy out.
My easy out is the fucktard. So if he doesn't have fucktard strength. Junior comes up, joins the group. He with cups of coffee and a plate of donuts. Octay says that Junior was in a particularly chipper mood that day. Octay takes the cup of coffee from Junior and then says that he fell asleep sometime after that, and that someone must have tampered with the machine while he was out. He does say that maybe it was his fault for not preventing the accident or murder. But if someone killed her, then someone killed the kids at the bonfire too. That same person. At this point, the power goes out. Octay heads off to check it out. We hear a gunshot followed by banging on the front door and hearing Agnes's dad calling out to open the door. Agnes opens the door. Dad rushes in. They then find Octay's dead body, who's now had with a shotgun, not a shotgun, but just a gunshot to his head. He's dead. He's been shot.
Bye.
Now, this scene kind of confused me a little bit. I just didn't know. I was like, he obviously didn't run in and shoot himself, but was the killer trying to make it look like he did, or was it clear he's been shot by a killer?
I didn't think anything was supposed.
Yep.
I never thought they were trying to make it look like he shot himself.
Okay.
I always like the killer came in, shot him in the dark, and fled.
I will agree with Nachos. The acting was. This was like in all the horror movies. You always have the one where they find this old wise character,
The monologuer,
the character, that will tell them things. That was this guy, and he was a good actor. Whoever he was really good.
Okay, he may not be like Oscar worthy, but in this fucking movie, he's our shining star. He's our Anthony Hopkins, you know.
Yeah, I agree. He was probably the best in this scene.
The best of the best of the best.
Or at least good. So they find Octay dead with a gun. So father orders them to go somewhere that's not home and keep their phones turned on. It's like, get out of here, but don't go home. Keep your phones on. I'll contact you later. And it sends Agnes and Clyde off. We cut to a TV news report reporting on the body of Wayne being found by the river, cut to pieces, and only his head was used to be able to recognize the body. He then cuts to Junior giving a statement about the possible closure of the attraction, how it would devastate so many people due to the loss of jobs, and that everybody hears his family, and this is my family's farm, and this is not right, and blah blah blah. You can't shut down the farm. And then it also has Agnes's dad talking to police saying, people died here, and we shouldn't shut it down because it would hurt the livelihoods of people, but we're not going to shut it down. My favorite part of this though is he's like, yeah, well, about a dozen people have died at Disney World too, so there's that. That's the line. They didn't shut that down. So that's how his comparison. About 12 people have died, or 50-something years at Disney World.
Buddy, I'm sure those numbers are way higher than that.
They didn't shut that down.
Because the mouse will hush it up.
One crazy thing about that scene that you don't see in real life is the news anchor in the studio talking directly to him like they're on a Zoom call in 2012. she would have had to have been talking to an anchor in the field, interviewing him.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
just, and he's got no earpiece.
No, there's no earpiece. He doesn't
nothing.
even have a microphone.
He's just talking to her like, they're on a Zoom call.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I was gonna say, and it always weirds me out in movies when they do this. It's just like we've seen the news,
Yeah.
local news. It's not. They found a body with its dick cut off and fucking fed to alligators. It's
Yeah,
like,
they would not say that on TV. Like, they said, the severed pieces of the body and severed head was only used, but the only way the
They
family could
may
identify.
say like a gruesome scene down
Thank
in
you,
Clayton,
right.
A gruesome
you know.
scene what took place was found down by the riverside. And police are under investigation.
in a van.
That they wouldn't say that on TV. At all.
honestly, Coffee Doug, if you were a newscaster, I would tune in every night, dude.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Breaking news: we found a bunch of dead ass bodies. Nope. Let's hear you say that.
Yeah.
But also, this scene goes on. Wade Dog's like, my family didn't get killed. No, everything is good, and I'm sane, and whoo! It's just like, I don't fucking know, man.
Did he just channel a little bit of Little Richard there too?
I think so at the end.
The smallest dick, yes. Little dick energy is what I fucking channeled. I'll take it. I'll take that little dick.
Little dick energy.
I will take that little dick.
All right.
Or a big clit, either
So,
or.
Agnes and Clyde are now at a local bar drinking and talking about all the previous events and trying to figure out who the killer is. Again, going through it person by person.
It's Bam Margera.
Clyde suggests Junior, but Agnes says it can't be him because he was with her when Wayne was killed on the hayride. He was always around her. They run through all the other possible suspects, but can't come to a clear conclusion. Then all of a sudden, Mrs. Bates is behind the bar. Just the bartender's gone, and she's in his place, and she says, 2 beers on the house. And then Junior pops up behind Clyde and Agnes from fucking nowhere and chloroforms the both of them, and they fall unconscious immediately. I mean, hell, faster than immediately. They're just out cold. The rag touches their face, and they pass out.
Okay.
And I wish I should have had Aaron on for this one again, because this is one of Aaron's biggest pet peeves. Is seeing the over exaggeration and use of chloroform in these movies. Because yes, it does knock somebody out, but it takes like up to 5 minutes of them to constantly breathing in the fumes for it to knock out somebody. It doesn't just knock them out immediately.
Well, as your second leading expert on how chloroform works.
Yes, he uses it for medical reasons. You use it for diabolical reasons.
Infamous or fun or Friday night. It just depends how much they've had to drink and how fucking close you put it on their mouth. Anyway, how big is Junior? I'm not a big fucking dude. I clock in, I think I'm about like 180, probably
Junior
6'3".
I think Junior's maybe. I
Or
think Junior's probably
5'9".
a good 5'9", 5'10" ish. But I think he's got that fucktard strength. Maybe not Zeke, but you can tell he works on a farm. I think he's in shape. I think he's probably stronger than he looks.
So he's probably asking George where the rabbits are, kind of thing, you know, a little Lenny there.
Well, what I was going to bring up earlier, though, if Junior was on the tractor with Agnes, whoever, which we're about to discover is one of the killers or whatever, gets Wayne on that. How did that person get Wayne on?
Because Wayne was a chubby guy. He was not a light. He was not a light feather.
Unless they tricked him, like, hey, you're going to be part of this act, and then had him tied down, which could have happened. But
I love when Agnes. Wow, that's such a terrible name and easy to remember. It's like, no, Wayne wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yep. He loves to hear himself talk. He would never gag himself.
That sounds familiar.
Or let himself be gagged.
Who do we know that does that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna pee for a second.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
Out of my dick hole.
All right, so where were we? The chloroform. Yes, so they're knocked out. Agnes wakes up. If you touch those chip bags, my God.
This guy.
Jesus Christ.
So just so we have the, I've got to give the visual, because I am a guy, especially when I would drink a lot, I would have to take a piss all the time. But Marshall has been very understanding with me. I'm quiet. I do it real quick. But Nachos just got up because he had to piss. But he also took the bag of Cheez-Its into the bathroom that Marshall's not letting me because it's like... I don't know if that's him sucking a dick or eating Cheez-Its. I don't know. But So yes, the chloroform is ridiculous.
Yeah. So Agnes wakes up, duct taped to a chair in a wooden shed. In comes Junior, who starts his monologue. And he talks about how 1 year ago they both witnessed the death of Lily, that it was something they shared together.
Now, I will say, is that me?
I don't know.
I will say, I had forgotten that first scene weirded me out so bad whenever the death had happened with Lily and that guy staring at her weird.
Yeah. I
I noted it in my head like, well, that's fucking weird. I forgot all about that, and then I go, oh, that was Junior.
Yes.
Until this moment.
So he tells her that he felt surge of absolute horror in him, and there's nothing like it, and that he was as shocked as anyone to see Lily on fire.
So he got his rocks off by like
guess.
sharing the moment with somebody.
Yeah. He tells her that his mother soaked the platform Lily was on in gasoline, and then and then tied Lily up to it like overly
And this
tight.
is where I'll say that they lightly touch on Bates Motel, like Psycho, a mother and a son that are both psychotic. Only in this case, the mother's not dead, but they dress her up to look like Mother Bates from Psycho.
I didn't get that at all.
That's what I got, but
Good connection,
that's just
Coffee
me.
Dog.
I didn't pick up on that one. So next he tells her that that she's the reason that they're here. When he looked up into her eyes as Lily died, it allowed him to experience her anguish. He says it's hard to explain, that it's something she has to see to understand, and that he has something that they'll both enjoy. With that, he gets up, leaves, and comes back with the kidnapped girl over his shoulder. He places her in a chair directly across from Agnes and pulls out a large knife. He says to Agnes, what could be more terrifying than watching someone slowly die? He tells her to soak it in. With that, Junior places the knife to the girl's throat, slices her neck open, and I will say this is a pretty decent, nice neck slitting effect. I've certainly seen a hell of a lot worse, but this one's not terrible.
Sure.
It's not great. Nachos looks very disagreeing with that one. He does not think that. No, he just shakes his head.
He didn't like it.
He's not even speaking anymore. He's just like, nope.
Boo.
Yeah, boo.
So Junior gets pissed when Agnes closes her eyes and looks away. He grabs Agnes, holds her head, like forcing her to look at the girl as she dies, like basically shoves her face into her slit neck. Like,
Also, this chick is super chill about having her fucking throat slit.
Yeah.
It's like, no fight. You're not like tied to the chair. Whatever.
And just a few seconds before that, when Junior sat in the empty chair and touched the girl on the leg, that girl was like, freaking the fuck out from him touching her leg. I do kind of agree that you're right. Like, when they had the girl, you figure she'd be, or was she unconscious?
You know what? She might have been doped up.
Okay, I don't remember. Okay.
She's like, this isn't Bam Margera. How'd you trick me into this?
So, strange girl, she's dead. Junior calms down now and saying that it's okay, that he actually has something better planned, and that he has to go help Mother put Clyde in the guillotine. He tells her he'll be right back and then leaves the shed, leaving Agnes alone. We cut to Junior and Mother leading Clyde to the guillotine. They order him to get in it. He refuses, so the mom just shoots him in the leg.
Why? Make him get up on the fucking stage, then shoot him in the leg. Also, I love that you said guillotine, because they go back and forth by calling it a guillotine and a guillotine several times in this film.
Yes.
Not that I'm nitpicking.
Well, that's what we do here. We pick those nits, as Aaron likes to say.
I'm gonna.
Don't
even get me started.
He accuses me of that quite often, of picking those nits, but it's my job. It's what we do.
That's what you're here to do.
Junior goes to get Agnes and finds that she has escaped the shed, to no surprise.
Oh, you think?
Cut to Agnes running down the trail. She comes to the gas station scene and finds Akimbo duct taped to a gas pump.
What is he? Don't get too close.
Yeah, he shouts out, stop, don't come any closer. And he's like, there's a phone in the haunted house. And as soon as he says, he just explodes into flames.
You don't even get that
Boom.
NPC conversation.
Nope.
He's just a flam, a go. Man, we're just tag teaming that toilet.
Yeah,
boy.
you guys are. Just one after another.
Tag
God
team
damn.
back again. Empty them bladders, because that's what we do, friend. It's a new song.
Jesus. All right.
Hey, Marshall.
Yes.
What's a ghost's favorite lunch meat?
Bologna?
You're good. He cracked the code.
Was that really the punchline.
Yeah, that's it's the more obnoxious you say it, the better it is. Boo, Loney.
Okay.
Hey, Marshall.
Yeah.
Why didn't the skeleton cross the road?
Because he was too.
Bonafide?
Yeah, I would say bone. Okay.
Because he didn't have any guts.
Ah, damn it. Yep, that's it. I've heard that. I knew I heard it before. Didn't have any guts. Well, okay. Got another one?
Yeah. Why
you
did...
check Nacho's stand-up routine at the.
Here's my
Funny
hot
Zone.
five, everybody. I've been tightening this one up for about 6 years. Hey, did you hear about the thing? Why the ghost went to the bar?
No, I didn't. Why did the ghost go to the bar?
Because they like to drink spirits.
Oh! All right, now as soon as Doug gets back to the table, we can move on.
Hey, Marshall,
'Cause this
did you
is
hear about...
terrible.
Well, I will say, usually you guys don't do like joke breaks while somebody's taking a piss or something.
So, excuse me. Gimbal just blows up in a fireball at this point out of nowhere. And I will say this is one of the scenes. It's very, very, very brief, but this is one of the few scenes that is used in both this movie and Hallow's Eve as well.
Oh, what?
This gas station exploding gas pump, they show it briefly in Hallow's Eve too, and then they use it again in this movie as well.
Dude, that's weird because in my cut, Akimbo said, "Hey, Agnes, check out my Human Torch impersonation." Flame on!
Flame on. That's, yeah. Well done. I wish I would have thought of that one, actually.
It's in the movie.
That
You just gotta watch
edit
the European
was real
cut.
fast and shit too. Like, did you know? I mean, it was quick. I don't know. It was weird the way they did that.
Yeah, it's really quick. It's so fast, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's almost like there was terrible editing in this movie.
Almost.
Almost.
Yes. So Agnes
Edward James.
Almost. Agnes just leaves. Akimbo dead. She just moves on. She's like, whatever. She makes it to the haunted house, enters through a back door, I believe. She finds a phone, but it's not plugged in. Junior comes in behind her, calling out her name. She runs off. Next is a bunch of cat and mouse hiding chase shots of Junior stalking Agnes through the haunted house. Which, again, this is supposed to be like, what, opening night or night 2 of this super successful, important haunted house.
Yes.
And there's nobody in this haunted house. There's nobody going through this thing at all.
Well, I think they said earlier that this was like the last shift, the last roundabout kind of thing, or was that the night before?
That was the night before.
Yeah.
Well, that's when Wayne died. They were on the last. This is like.
All right, sorry, movie, you're on your own. I tried.
It's like, yeah, right in the middle of everything. As she sneaks through the house, at one point Zeke's dead body falls out in front of her from a closet or something. He's like, there's dead Zeke. Then Andrew rushes in behind her with his rifle because this guy loves his rifle. Saying that, we've been through this before, Missy. Agnes asks, like, hey, are you in on this too? Andrew starts counting down from 5 for some reason. That's just a weird thing. Like,
Yeah, what in the Looney Tunes is this shit?
I didn't get that.
I didn't get
at
this
all.
either. I'm going to count down from 5. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I wanted them to do the Spaceballs. 5, 3. Hey, you forgot 4. Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, was his plan? Is he just going to shoot her in the face in the middle of this haunted house?
Is
was that
he
the plan?
in on it? Now that I think about it, is he one of the killers?
I think so.
I guess.
Because, okay, so he backs her with a gun. Agnes grabs an axe, swings at him, hitting him in the arm.
This was pretty funny.
And then he goes, he's like, ha, prop axe, bitch! And then hits her across the face with the butt of his rifle, sending her reeling against the wall. And I call bullshit on that because, one, or Agnes has the world's toughest fucking jaw.
Yeah.
Because she should have been knocked the fuck out from that shit. Like when fucking Tiny Zeus Lister knocks out what's his name in fucking Friday, man.
You got knocked the fuck out!
Yeah. I mean, no, but that should knock anybody out. He cold cocks that bitch with that rifle.
See, Marshall, what you didn't know is I got mind control over Debo. When he shows up, I stop talking. When he's gone, I'm talking again.
Okay.
That's my bike.
All right.
I love how his fucking arms, how Red's arms in fucking Friday, like when he's running, his floppy arms, because it's just like the chick in Lake Fear 3.
Damn!
Because it's Friday,
It's all
you ain't
connected.
got no job,
It's
and
all
you ain't got
connected.
shit to do.
So,
Michael Myers taking a shit over there.
anyway, so instead of being knocked out cold, Agnes just basically hits the wall and bounces right off of it and then charges Andrew. This time he hits her in the stomach with the rifle. Agnes drops to a knee. Andrew goes to hit her again, but this time Agnes grabs the gun from him, and goes to hit him with the butt of the gun, so the barrel's pointing at Andrew. She grabs the gun, they struggle, the gun goes off, Andrew gets shot in the head, he's dead. And of course, all this is going on. Like I said, while this is going on, we keep getting insert shots of all the park just filled with customers, and the tractors going down the hayride, and the place is just buzzing. Like it might as well be fucking Disney World because it's just crowded and packed. And again, I do think Andrew was in on it, because why else would he be like, "Rose again, bitch! I'm gonna count down to 5, and I'm gonna kill you." Like, why not be like, "What are you doing here?" Like, get out. Like
normal guy.
Yeah, he
a
just
normal
goes straight
worker.
like, "I'm gonna shoot this bitch" for like no reason. There's never really any reason to, like, why he would just straight want to kill her unless he's in on it.
I think Andrew would have benefited from on the rifle. There's the arrow that says, "Pointy boom boom," and goes this way.
That's like on the C4, the C4 mine. It actually says this
Claymore,
way.
Claymore.
Yeah, what did I say? I said C4. Claymore
Same
mine.
thing.
It actually says like point this way towards enemies. Yeah, this way towards enemies. I found that funny when we learned to set those things up in basic. Like, oh, it really does say this way towards enemies.
Yeah.
It really,
I
they dumb that shit down for
Yeah.
you when it comes to that.
I just used to do that in State Park. I've said too much.
So back at the guillotine scene, the mother is now dressed up in her costume, which is the same one we saw earlier. So it's now we find out she's the one that's been wearing the black robes with the scarecrow mask and the shitty hair, and this quote unquote scarecrow mask, which, like I said, I don't consider that a scarecrow at all. Did anybody else think that's a scarecrow?
No, it was like, I'll tell you guys later.
Yeah,
It's like a better movie.
Okay. Clyde is yelling at her and shit talking her, which is always a good idea to shit talk the people that are about to murder you.
Hey, fuck it. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You die.
He's like, "What's wrong with you, you fucking bitch?" Blah blah blah. And she just says that everything is more fun when it's real. So Agnes exits the haunted house, has to make her way through the crowded sea of customers. Junior exits closely behind her. He grabs a megaphone from somewhere, some bullhorn, and starts taunting her over it with it while she's running through the crowd. The best part of this that made me laugh, I don't know about you guys, is the moment where he gets rid of the megaphone. He's walking by this guy and just like he takes it and kind of like slams it into the guy's chest.
He's like,
and then the guy next to him, he just reaches up, like smacks the guy's popcorn out of his hand for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. He's like, "Fuck that popcorn."
If you're gonna be evil,
Yeah. You go back to the guillotine scene as a tractor pulls up to watch the scene unfold. Clyde yells out for help, saying that they really have him tied up. But again, of course, everyone thinks it's just part of the show. Junior hops down off the tractor, so he's now somehow let Agnes go. Like, he went from the front of the park, ran all the way down the trail to wherever he was, got onto a tractor just to jump off as it got to this scene. So, whew.
Yeah, the continuity in that was everything was weird about that.
Like,
the editing is dog shit in this
Um,
movie.
so he joins Mother up on the stage next to Clyde. More shots of Agnes running through the park in the corn, and Junior toying with and taunting Clyde with the, pretending that he's going to drop the blade down on him, but doesn't. All this shit. Junior tells the tractor driver to shut down the tractor so everyone can watch and hear what he has to say.
Oh, big presentation.
Yes, he addresses the crowd and asks them who all here want to see him whack this guy's head off. And he does like this whole Triple H DX thing where the crowd's gonna work up. He's like, "Who wants to see me cut this guy's head off?" Like, yeah. He's like, "No, I I said, who wants to see me? Cut this like very DX
Yeah,
Triple H. He's like, that's what I'm on. He's getting all worked up in the showmanship of this shit.
All of three people are like, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Marty from Scare Park runs out and wait, almost the same movie.
Almost the
Sorry,
same movie.
my bad.
Agnes finally fucking shows up. Still has the rifle in hand, so good for her at that point. He orders Junior to release Clyde. And just again, nobody seems to mind that you have this woman running around a park with a giant fucking rifle. Like, it's like, that's not something you see at a haunted house. Chainsaw's nice, sure. Guns?
Yeah.
A giant rifle? Not so much.
Skinny, pretty chick with a bad attitude with a rifle. I'm like, is this a new trope? Are we done with scary clowns? Now we're into, like, mean chicks?
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
we're like, gothy bitch chicks with guns? I don't know.
I'm okay with that.
So she orders Junior to release Clyde. He does not. Clyde tells Junior to eat a dick. Not the best thing to say to somebody, who's holding your life in your hand. So Junior releases the rope. The blade drops on the back of Clyde's neck. Blood sprays all over Junior's face. The crowd goes crazy and cheers.
Even though we don't see anything.
That's the thing. We don't see it, and don't get me wrong. I mean, they did have the tractor kill and stuff like that, but this one I felt like they could have done something.
Yeah.
Like,
dead serious.
But it turns out that it wasn't a clean chop and that Clyde's still alive somehow. Seeing that he's still alive, Junior says, oh, the wood's warped, that Akimbo was supposed to fix that. Oh, well, twosies, and starts to pull the rope back up, raising the blade up again.
now, I will say,
that was
when
pretty
they
funny.
raised the blade, before that all happened, I go, I wonder if back in the day, if it didn't completely chop people's heads off sometimes and would get stuck.
Oh, they just sent
And
him
then
home.
they did it. Well,
Send him
so,
home.
yeah. So, I don't know. I can see that happening. I kind of liked that it messed up, but we still should have seen it. We should have seen the hit both times.
Right. I mean, well, you spent all your money on Bam Margera and
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking burnt Samoan nipples or
Yeah.
whatever to fucking have any special effects.
So Agnes aims the rifle at Junior, but the mother pulls out a handgun from behind her back, telling Agnes to drop it, cunt. They dropped the C word.
I know. Even I was like,
I was not expecting that one in this.
us terrible misogynistic monsters who say the worst things ever.
Yes.
Even I was offended. My cunt was a little soppy. Our UK cunt was a little soppy. Sorry. You say with a K, you're okay.
Yeah. Agnes shoots the mom, killing her. She's like, bang, dead. Junior takes this surprisingly well, watching his mother just get shot in front of him. He's
Well,
like,
Christmas
all
just
right.
got a lot easier
Yeah.
this year.
Saying she shouldn't have done that, but I guess that makes us even. Clyde yells at Agnes to run. Junior releases the rope. The blade drops down, this time cutting off Clyde's head.
Or so it would seem.
Yeah. Which you don't see.
Or so we don't see.
Agnes runs away as a tractor starts up and drives off down the path.
So I
Again,
guess
nobody seems to pay attention. They still thinks this is all part of the show.
Did she run away because the gun quit working or was out of bullets?
Yeah,
Or
like the gun. She tries to shoot, it didn't work, so she just runs off. Junior catches up to Agnes, tackles her to the ground. They struggle. While he's on top of her, he says to her, "We have so much in common. Now you'll never forget that feeling. What it's like to take someone's life. How did that feel? You saw it, the memory of someone dying, staying with you. You never forget the feeling of killing someone yourself." At this point, Junior then kisses her on the lips, and that's when Agnes stabs him in the stomach. How? Because I have no idea, because I have zero fucking clue where she got that knife from at all. Don't know where that came from.
It was the butterfly necklace. I got nothing, but that would have made so much more sense. Fuck.
Junior rolls off her, saying that she has to do better than that, Agnes. So Agnes starts stabbing him repeatedly in the chest, and with each stab, Junior says, like, shit, yeah, like, that's it, go for it. Woo, yeah, look at me, Agnes, look at me. And, he's trying to be all crazy. Agnes pulls the knife out, raises it for one last stab. Junior looks her in the eyes and says, I always knew we would have our moment. Agnes stabs him in the heart. We cut to Agnes covered in blood, walking through the crowd.
Stabbed through the heart, and it's... Anyway, let's just wrap this up.
Agnes is covered in blood, walking through the crowd, blackout.
Hey, real
Cut to-
quick. I'm
okay.
sorry. The dad early on, when you met the dad that is the true owner in real life, what's that guy's name again?
The character?
Yeah.
Andrew.
Andrew Bates. Okay. So Junior would truly be an Andrew Bates also. But
I would guess so, yeah.
Okay.
So Agnes the crowd, blah, 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 blah. We cut to a pair of girls exiting one of the attractions, which I think is the church, which we see in both this movie and the other movie. Finding Junior's dead body, which of course they think is just a prop. And they're like, oh, look, it's just a prop, haha. And they say, ew, that's gross. So they step over Junior. And of course, as they step over Junior, Junior reaches a hand out, grabs one of their ankles, blackout, roll credits. How the fuck would he still be alive? He wouldn't. Anyway, that's the fucking movie.
Sequel bait. And
Sequel
let's
bait.
hope there's not a sequel.
Well, and funny you should say that because no,
boy.
I'm just.
You got me, bud. That was good. That was good.
All right, with that said, let's move on to this week's favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right, it's been a long time, so we're gonna let Mr. Coffee Doug Jones go first. Doug, what is your favorite kill for this movie?
I'm going to take the easy one and say the tractor. That's what they probably spent the most money on. And, they had two people in the tractor's way, but it didn't. I guess it didn't. I guess shirtless Dracula never died in this movie, did he?
No, he got run over by the Thresher.
He did too. Okay. I just remember the topless girl getting run over and then shirtless Dracula. Yeah, that's the easy one. That's
The
one
two
I'll go
topless
with.
people, yes.
Yes, the two topless
Though
people.
he had a shirt on.
Which did make me wonder. I was going to ask you guys this too. So you've seen a million of these kinds of movies that are obviously low budget in a somewhat small town horror movie. When they get a girl to do, and a guy, whatever, a sex scene, and I wonder how they promote it to him. Like, we're not really going to pay you any money.
Yeah.
You're gonna go be nude on film.
They make him a producer.
Forever. Yeah. I guess it's like, how do they convince?
I wonder
them?
that myself all the time, like, especially in these super low. But like, how do they convince the girls to go topless in these movies?
Unless it's these girls that are trying to be, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You want to be a star, don't you?
I guess. Okay.
Unless they like, I know it's like I don't know. Maybe like, hey, let's go get a stripper from down the road somewhere.
Maybe pay her $1,000 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Doug.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The tractor. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Fine, it's fine. Fair game. Nachos.
Exact same thing, because I think this was the most quote-unquote gore we've seen in the movie, because it was fucking legit. Somebody took a hamper, sprayed barbecue sauce on it, and just threw it into the Thresher, and that's it.
No more barbecue. Anyway, clean sweep again. Gotta go with the tractor, the harvester, thresher, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, what else was there?
Yeah, there really
the
is.
not decapitation, the dude not getting sawed in half, or what?
The shotgun.
And also, like,
shot.
I was gonna try and remember in case I don't remember to bring it up later, but almost the other kills were all staged. None of them were like just spontaneous, like walking around. Oh, the killer pops up, stab, you're dead. They're all staged in these scenes, so they're not like.
I guess the girl getting burnt in the beginning wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually kind of showed her getting burnt, kind of, and her screaming. Even the guy by the gas station, you didn't hear any yelling or
He just
nothing.
blew up.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
But yeah, it's got to be the thresher. I mean, the harvester, whatever. I agree. We're gonna clean
That's a
sweep that one.
consensus, right?
Consensus,
All right.
yeah. All right, moving on.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
All right, ratings. IMDb gives it a 3.1 out of 10.
That is fucking generous.
Rotten Tomatoes, there is no official thermometer score, but it has an 11% audience score.
Wow.
That's a low one.
Yeah.
Out of 10?
Out of 100.
I know.
No.
I mean,
Okay. Amazon. Who wants to guess what Amazon gave it?
Well, I do remember that you say Amazon tends to be a little higher. Years ago it did. So
I'm going to go 4.5.
4.5. Jesus Christ. Okay, 4.5.
I'll go 4.4.
4.4.
Did you just price this right?
I
me,
sure
dude?
did.
All right, fair enough.
You both are wrong, but I guess we're playing close. 3.5 out of 5 on Amazon.
Ooh,
Like I
okay.
said, way too generous.
Plot keywords. There are 20 total plot keywords, but nothing fun or surprising, so we're skipping over it.
Corn?
Corn, yeah. Trivia. We already mentioned Ryan Dunn dying, but apparently cast member Rocco A. Amato and Matthew Hughes, along with Ryan Dunn, all passed away before this film was released.
Matty Hughes?
Matty Hughes, not Matty Hughes. Not Matty
He has
Hughes.
to smell my thermos.
So there's 3 people that died, like that were in
Apparently.
this movie
From
before the
embarrassment.
film. Wow.
I'm curious now as to who those people were. I'm gonna look them up real quick.
It's not Clyde. I think it's got to be a Kimbo.
Well, Amato sounds like maybe a Kimbo.
That's racist.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy though. Like the poltergeist curse or whatever, multiple people dying.
Yeah.
The Bates-a-Geist pulse.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Ryan Dunn. Rocco Amato was manager Milton.
Oh, he's the guy that she worked for at the pizza place, right?
That lovable
Yeah,
character.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Who stole
and then
the
who's
show?
Matt Hughes. Let's see. Matt Hughes. I don't even
He's been
see.
Patreoning us from behind the grave.
He
I don't
been,
even see
He
the
could have been
name
on
Matt
the
Hughes on
crew
here.
or something,
Yeah, I don't.
like-
He's not listed in the. I'm not even seeing him listed in the cast. So let's see real quick. Let's go deep dive here. Matt Hughes. This is fascinating entertainment, I know, but
Patreon level content for free.
yeah,
Yes.
We don't put it behind bars here, friends.
yeah. I don't see him in the cast. Choreography. Yeah, I don't know who he is or where he worked on this. I don't see him. And
He was the wheel.
He was the wheel.
Well, if it was on IMDb trivia, it has to be true, Marshall.
Yeah, it has to be. But I'm not seeing them on the cast list, so we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Let's see. We already talked about the scene. Is said the Bates Motel and Haunted Hayrides real life Halloween attraction in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. Like I said, this is the second movie that's done the show that filmed Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride. And just so you know, I just looked it up because this was filmed back in 2000. What
I think 11.
2012. Bates Motel and Haunted Hayride is still open to this day. I'm actually looking at their website right now.
With all the murders?
All the murders, they just think, I guess they're using it to promote themselves. But it's a Bates Motel haunted hayride, haunted house. They have a Bates mobile adventure. They have a Bates Motel escape room. They have laser tag. They've really expanded apparently.
Laser
On
tag.
Doug, be a monster. Click here about working.
Hey.
Go work at the Bates Motel.
Yeah.
You can do it. Maybe you can meet shirtless Dracula.
Uh-huh.
Or become the new.
Yeah, become new shirtless Dracula. But yeah, they're still
One of my dreams.
nationally ranked top 5 best, apparently, according to America Haunts.
What do they fucking know?
Sponsored by Fangoria, featured on Fangoria, CNN Travel, and sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts right now, apparently.
There you go.
CNN Travel, best haunted house in America. I don't know. I think The Darkness would have something to say about that one.
Vouch.
But anyway, they're still open. So if you guys are in Pennsylvania or want to take a tour, you can go check them out. They're there. They're still
Hit 'em
going.
up.
So yeah, kind of cool. That's it. That's all I got for trivia. Not much. So let's move on to Mortal Kombat Combat.
At the end of this day, one shall stand, one shall fall.
Good versus bad. Right versus wrong. Light versus dark. In the end, when the dust settles, who will be left standing after Mortal Kombat Combat?
All right. So there we go. Now, I do have one more clip I did capture from our 75th episode that I wanted to play real quick before we got into reviews, because it's a little something I got a nitpick, which is what I do. Pick the nits, I want to say. So, are you all right over there? No. All right. Anyway, this is Doug. This is you.
I know what you're gonna play already.
Are you?
Yeah, I do.
Now let me
All
ask
right.
you this, Marshall. When
Yeah.
you go and you look at, do you just pick random reviews off IMDb?
Every now and then I get one off IMDb, but most of them I get from Amazon because there are categories like 5-star, 1-star, and I can give. And I will go there and I will just start reading each and every review. And I just try to find ones that make me laugh or I think are the most entertaining. I copy those down.
Thank you for telling me that, because my thought was, I need to get on there and I need to leave a fucking review and see if Marshall picks my review. I'm like, this movie sucks a bag of dicks, and I swear to God, if anybody reviews this on a podcast, I'm gonna show up at their house and you just know in the middle of the night drinking a beer, he'll be like, fucking Doug, that's gotta be it. I'll be like, my handle will be like, 2-Finger Tina loves a bunch of anal.
2-Finger Tina.
I'll create a whole new account. So be on the boards looking for me, buddy.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for
'cause I'm
2-Finger
coming.
Tina.
So there's the clip, And it's been 6 years.
Yes.
And I have yet to notice a two-finger Tina, Doug. You have not held up your end of the bargain on this.
You're right. In my defense, I listened to that podcast yesterday. I re-listened to it because Marshall did tell me to rewatch Hallow's Eve and listen to the podcast. I didn't even remember that we had talked about the Bates haunting,
Better part of half a decade,
Yeah,
you know?
well,
Fuck.
in my defense, I am sure was quite a few beers in, maybe a couple Jello shots, and it really disappoints me in my heart that I have not done that to you yet. So maybe I'll write it in my little notebook here, and maybe I'll get you sometime down the road. You're right. That's a fail on my part.
But if you would like to know more about Two-Finger Tina, as
Yes.
I can't believe I forgot about Two-Finger Tina myself, but now that I remember Two-Finger Tina, I never want to forget again.
Yes.
You can go back and watch Hallow's Eve and then listen to episode 75 and learn more about Two-Finger Tina. Yes, nachos.
Okay, dead serious. When you guys did Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, I was like, I have to do part 5. I have to write a review and leave it on there so you guys would find it. But apparently you can't say fuck a whole lot on the message board. So, well, when you did part 5, things didn't come to fruition.
We had the same idea, though. Yeah.
You and I were not so different, Two-Finger Tina.
Yes.
So, all right, this week, Mortal Kombat Kombat, we got 83 total reviews on Amazon. 41% of them are 5 stars. Jesus Christ. With 25% being 1 star.
Ooh, I bet you one of the buzzwords was Bam Margera.
It's worth 5 stars. From Kim. It was fun making this movie and had a blast being a part of it. We worked hard and long hours, and I would say it turned out amazing. So, Aaron, we always love the fact when we find reviews from people who actually worked on the movies.
Sure.
I looked this up. Turns out Kim, the only person with the name Kim in the entire cast.
Akimbo.
Nope. Damn. That's the character's name, not the actress. She is the girl who, I believe, is the girl who gets kidnapped and gets her throat slit.
Oh, okay.
She's a throat slit girl, I believe.
I told you I'd
Now-
make it in Hollywood, Mom.
To their credit, making this movie probably was a fucking lot of fun.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
really
it was
cheap.
probably a great time.
Yeah. To Kyle Azuriski. It was fun. Oh, no. God damn it. I did again. I've done that twice now. Like 2 times in a row. I've copied and pasted the same
Jeez, Marshall. What the
review
heck?
for somebody else. Fuck.
What is wrong with you?
Now I may wonder what he wrote. 'Cause it was good. I wrote his name down. I don't remember what it was. We have to move on.
It was like racist as fuck, so I'm glad we skipped it. He said, you let all those ethnicities do that thing?
So moving on to Amazon customer. This one makes me scratch my head. And I go, what? At the end of this one? Every episode has an ending that leaves you yearning for the next one. I wish the show was on every day.
See, like I said, it
what?
could have been a TV show.
I'm very confused by that.
They meant Bates Motel, the fucking TV show.
I wonder if that's what it was, the Bates.
That has to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he obviously did not check what he was.
That's a good call. Yeah. That's
Was it
exactly
actually
what they
called the
went for.
Bates Motel, or was it just called like Bates?
I think it was Bates Motel.
I think it was
Yeah,
Bates
hey, and if
Motel.
any of our listeners out there want to know, why don't you call on the hotline number? What's that number?
That's 7404-SUCK-IT. You can call
geez.
that in.
That number one more time.
7404-SUCK-IT. You
That's
can leave us
right.
any little message you want.
If you hate your girlfriend or your head fell off at work or you don't like things.
Yeah, or if you're in a shitty horror movie and you wanted to, talk about it on the show and let us know. We'll do that
Let's
too.
give them something to
Talk
talk
about.
about. Talk about shitty horse hole.
Now you got me doing it. Now we're going to start doing this like in harmony.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
with you guys both doing separate podcasts, talking about all these horrible movies, have you ever had people come at you on the internet from the movie? Like,
Yeah.
like whether it's on your Facebook, your whatever.
We have.
You have?
Yeah, we've had.
That's a question for Marshall.
Yeah. Like what? Just writing it, like, obviously not email, but whether they hit you up on Facebook or something? Or
Angry carrier pigeon. It was
Yeah.
very odd, Doug. It was
Yeah, I
very
got
odd.
a very, very angry carrier pigeon came to
like
my
a
door.
director or one of the
We've
stars?
we've had the director, we've had fans of the movie.
Well, fans,
The
sure.
cinematographer.
We've had a cinematographer guy the cinematographer and producer. We've had
just message you and say you guys are full of shit, or
sometimes some
yeah.
guys like, hey, I actually like it. We like Scare Zone. We've had people come up like, oh, we actually like what you said. It was hilarious. We've had both good and bad.
Huh.
When we did Killer Unicorn, the gay director, whoo, he did not like what we had to say about it, even though we weren't like trashing it badly.
Was he being dramatic?
Yeah. He was like basically like you're straight, you don't get it. Like, dude, we never said we weren't straight or gay.
Yeah.
Like it's like we even said like this might be thinking gay. That became a whole thing. We had
Was he being a real DQ about it?
we had fans on Facebook rip us apart for a movie that we did not like. And they're like, well, they're just being mean for trying to, they're just trying to do it for mean sake, trying to be funny or like, no, we just didn't like your movie. It's a shitty movie. And that was on the heels. That's the guy directed it who we were supposed to have on the show for an interview. And then Aaron, that guy Aaron trashes me like, this movie sucked. It's awful, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, next thing, yeah, I didn't come on to do the interview.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to interview him because he was in a movie that we loved. He
Yeah.
played a character in Don't Fuck in the Woods.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie. And
Was he Nydia White? Ass fuck queen Nydia White?
No, Nydia White, Ass Fuck Queen, yeah.
And she's in part 2.
She is in part 2,
I'm
which
psyched.
is done. Which should be out in December, I think. You can get it. You can get it in December, I believe. Anyway,
I'm ready.
So we wanted him on because we want to talk about that because we loved him in it. He was so good.
He was the chunky stoner, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Roman Jossart was his name.
Yeah.
And, but then he went on to direct a movie called Campground: The Requel.
Okay.
And we were like, what the fuck is this? We watched it and it was a terrible movie. I'm like,
You guys gave that to me for my birthday when we were at Blackthorn.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, we got pictures. And I'm just drinking pictures of Long Island iced teas like a fucking insane person.
And
your
so
head
he
was
did not
about
come on
ready.
to the interview. And his fans attacked us on Facebook when we posted. He's like, they're just doing it, this and blah, blah, blah. And then we had another director, and we had the cinematographer who did Mrs. Claus and Party Night and
Teachers Wanted?
Teacher Shortage.
Thank you.
Talk to us on Instagram. We had God, there was somebody else I'm forgetting off the top of my head too, but yeah, we have had that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have Vintage Asante from Never Hike Alone?
No, we didn't. That was you
Oh,
guys.
wait, that's my podcast.
I guess that is a thing you kind of run into though, like when if you're trying to critique the movies and stuff, what really sucks is you like this guy in this role for this movie, but down the road they directed something and in your minds was shit.
Yeah.
And then now you just, now it's like, no, I don't want to be on your podcast because of that.
It same scenario. I bet you Charles Bronson wasn't a very good chef, So I love Charles Bronson and Death Wish and all that shit, but I don't think I'd go to his restaurant if he was alive or had a restaurant.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Have the Death Wish burger.
So, Casey F. Nielsen writes, "I'm a lifelong horror fan." There we go. It's good when they always have to let you know that they're horror fans and that we love horror. And there's a lot out there, especially streaming, that you can be spending your time watching. A lot of it's pretty horrible. I can assure you, this one is not as horrible as those movies and is a good time.
What do you mean those movies?
Don't go into this wanting to take everything seriously. The Bates Haunting has more of a tone like the Hatchet movies.
Nope.
Old school styled horror can laugh at itself and hits the ground running, so you'll never be bored watching it. Kind of like Hobo with a Shotgun.
What?
Not at all. Not at all. Look at me about everything. What's worse than a boring horror movie? Nothing. Even that you're thinking right now as you're reading it. Trust me, I've seen a lot of boring horror movies. I can go on and on about the Bates Haunting and why you should watch it, and in turn bore you out of watching it. I'm not going to do that. You've already done that. God damn. I can boil everything down into one line that will make or break you wanting to watch. 2 people get eaten by a combine harvester. If you can't appreciate that, what are you doing reading reviews about horror movies? Go play Pogs with your neighbor kids or something instead.
What?
They still make those, right? 5 stars.
As a Pog defender, Alf is back and in Pog form, Bart.
Oh, God.
Did we watch the same movie? Because the pacing in this put my ass to sleep 3 separate times. Because sometimes you need to edit shit out of a scene.
Yes.
Or a podcast.
So let's move on to 1 stars. 1 star from Christopher Strubridge. You're better off grabbing a bucket of popcorn and staring at a wall for an hour and a half. 1 star. From Momo F2 plus Kitty. The worst acting possible tricks you into thinking the Bates Motel Psycho will be part of the movie Raspberry Award for this movie. I set myself on fire to avoid having to ever watch this movie again. In the movie, the virgin is sacrificed by fire.
She
1
wasn't
star.
a virgin.
Yeah, no one said she was a virgin.
Yeah, they look like how do you know?
From Jennifer Eileen. So bad. Don't waste your time to watch this movie. 1 star. Steve Ross. Could not get past the first minutes. It was just that bad. 1 star. And lastly from Lex. Awful. Could hear them talk through almost the whole movie. 1 star.
I hate it when actors and actresses
I know.
talk
Don't
through
you
the
hate
whole.
it when they actually talk in the movie?
It's like quiet. I'm trying to listen to the ambient noise.
I mean, it makes
or
you think, why she talk?
Why she talk?
Why she talk? Goddammit!
Why she talk?
Why she talk? So that's what we got this week. Now let's go back.
Don't do it.
Let's see where we're at this week. We're gonna let Doug start off again. Doug. So
Yes.
what are your final thoughts or recommendations for this movie?
Are you asking me like so bad it's scary?
Oh yeah,
so bad
we're
it's,
asking the question.
Um,
we asked the hard questions here.
People are too afraid to ask.
Yes. Now we've all watched our share of shit fucking movies.
Yep.
So I think that it has desensitized me, and I've used this excuse before, but it's hard for me to put this in the so bad it's scary. I know there are people out there that like this. I could tell they probably had fun making it. They dropped the ball in certain situations. And I did watch Hallow's Eve before this. And that
We're going to come talk about that.
pissed me off again. But there are people that will like this. So it's kind of, you could have it on in the background while you're doing stuff, and you can enjoy it. And I did think some of the acting was fine. The main characters, they were fine with me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give it It's So Bad It's Scary, but it's also hard to say race out and get it right now.
Well, you only give 2 options. So bad, scary. So bad, it's good. Pick one. You gotta pick.
No pressure.
I liked it enough. So bad it's good.
All right. Nachos.
Now, see, this is the difference. While Coffee Doug is in the corn bushes, I'm more of in the corn stalks.
Bringing it with barbecue sauce.
Barbecue corn. I don't know, man. So, like, there are parts of this movie that are fun, kind of, and there's a lot of it that fucking isn't. If you would have utilized techniques like editing a fucking movie and not worry about padding out a runtime, well, we might have interesting scenes. Are there fun characters? Well, 1 or 2. Are there useless cameos? Yeah. Is there virtually no gore? Yep. On the corn thresher, that's fucking wet sweatpants on blades. But that fucking boob implant shit was good because we got such good mileage out of that.
Yeah.
There, like Coffee Doug said, there is some decent acting, few and far in between. I mean, there's no budget game, right?
No, we've already
Oh,
no
thank
budget.
God. Okay.
No, there is no budget game this week because I couldn't find the budget.
Because this is fundamentally a fucking hour and 20-minute long commercial for a haunted house attraction. So what would that budget even be?
Yeah.
Exactly. I give this 3. No, I'm kidding. So bad it's fucking scary. And would I recommend it? I don't know. No, I would not.
That is a good way to put it, though. Man, that haunted attraction in real life got so much publicity off of this.
Oh, yeah, that and the other
They
4.
got 2 movies based on that. Yeah.
Wow.
So they're doing something. I mean, I gotta say,
You know what?
I've never been there. I can't experience it, but I gotta say they're doing something right because, as far as I know, they've never made a movie at the darkness.
Yeah.
Or creepy scare fest.
Creepy World.
Creepy World.
Whatever, yeah,
They've never
yeah.
made a movie there, and those places are huge, like world famous ones.
Let's think about this for a minute. Now, so does Bates Motel, does this like count as a tax write-off? Like there's some kind of fucking union here? Because
they're basically as a business expense, they made a movie.
Yeah, it's
Like,
an LLC.
it's really a commercial.
And
Maybe.
am I wrong?
Didn't make its money back, yeah.
Maybe.
So, all right.
How about you, Marshall?
Here's where I'm at. Now, I'm not going to play the clip again because it was about 1.5 minutes long, and we've already played it once. But at the beginning of the show, that first clip I played, I believe in that clip from 2016, when I first mentioned, hey, I watched Bates Motel, I believe I said it was better
You did say
than
that.
Hallows Eve.
Yes, you did.
Now, I did the same thing. I went back and watched Hallows Eve twice.
You fucking masochist. He's
And-
a Cinnabite. I swear to God, he's Marshall Head.
And I probably watched this movie, I hate to say, probably like 8 times in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Now, do I stand by what I said in 2016? Is this movie... Well, first of all, okay, before I go back there, I'm going to say for this particular movie, so bad it's scary. And not in the good, fun, scary way. Like a Muck Train or... Well, that's
Muck
so
don't
bad.
give a
Those
fuck.
are so bad it's good. Here's my thing. The acting, yes, is probably pretty it's decent. Agnes, Clyde, Octay, all 3 of them. Junior, for the most part, they do fine jobs. They're good. I have no
Sure.
problem with that. The editing, non-existent. It's terrible. The storyline is fine, but does get boring in the middle. There are scenes that are bad. The whole fucking cemetery music video, get that shit out. That doesn't need to fucking be there. Bam and Ryan Dunn, get them out. They would bring nothing to the movie. The kills are, exception of the Harvester, they're all staged and lame. There's no like, not like you see like, Friday the 13th or they pop around the corner and there's the killer with the chainsaw and or something big and cool. It's just like they're all long, drawn out, boring stage scenes within a set or, a scene in a hayride. And again, it's this Bates Motel. They focus, this one is pretty much just the hayride. In Hallows Eve and other ones, they focus more on like the haunted house, the other aspects of the park. This is just hayride.
Yep.
So they really limited themselves to what they could do, how they could do it, because it's such a limiting, parameters that they put themselves in. And the other thing I didn't like about this one is the ending. Not so much, but the motivation for why they go suddenly start killing people makes zero sense.
You have
to
no
me.
idea.
Like they're fine, normal people, and all of a sudden Lily dies, whether it's accidental or not, and all of a sudden now they're just killing people. Like Junior, okay, maybe. Why is the mom killing people? Why is she on this? Why is the dad suddenly killing? There's no explanation of why these people want to kill everybody out.
It lacks motivation.
Just out of the blue. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
At least Scare Park had that.
Yeah, Scare Park had that, and we want to compare it back to Hallows Eve. As fucking bad as that movie was, and we listen to the podcast, the episode 75, we make that movie's nonsense when you try to figure out the relationships of who's related to who and why people are doing what. It will make your brain bleed trying to figure that out. But that movie, I'm going back on my word. This movie, I think, is worse. It's definitely more boring, I think, than Hallows Eve. Now,
Sure.
what do you think? Because Hallow Eve had more gore. The kills were better, much better kills and gore. It was a little faster paced. It wasn't just I feel like I was just watching people on the hayride for literally and hayrides are slow. And this movie's like, and when you do get a kill, they're long, drawn out, boring kills. Hayride or Hallows Eve at least was. They go more faster paced. The characters were nonsense. The relationships were nonsense. But at least the kills were good, and it was so bad, it was at least kind of entertaining trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, that at least that was almost so bad it's good compared to this one. I might have to go back and change my point, but I am going back on what I said originally in that original clip. This is not, I do not think this is better than Hallows Eve at this point.
I think that I don't know, I disagree. I think that only because it was Hallows Eve, even watching it yesterday and now trying to listen into the podcast and watching it, I was like, okay, maybe I can put these relationships together. I can't get over it.
No.
I can't get over it.
I did the same thing. I tried so hard.
Nachos, and I know you don't really remember it because you haven't seen it in years and years and years, but they basically, little girl gets hit by tractor, group of kids, 10 years that are bullying her.
Isn't that the plot for Annabelle Origins?
But then 10 years later,
Yes.
you don't know what age these people are, and once you think you figure it out at the end of the movie, all of a sudden these teenagers who are really in their 20s and 30s, their parents, quote unquote, show up, and you find out they were the ones that would have been bullying the girl. That means None of it. I couldn't. Get
I didn't
over
even
it.
pick up on that. Were the
Yes.
parents supposed to be the? I thought they were
Yes.
just being killed because they
No.
were the parents of the bully kids.
No, they insinuate.
Oh my
that
God!
Donna,
There's a whole nother. Jesus
no,
Christ!
if
what
you
happened?
watch the
Oh
trailer, scene,
fuck!
they
I
call-
guess I have to rewatch this movie.
It was all kinds of fucked up. I will say that this one, the Bates Haunting, was more boring. I'll give you that. But again, I was more equating it to, like you said, a Hallmark movie or something like Hallmark horror or CW WB channel horror.
Yeah.
Actually, CW gets away with a lot of shit, like Supernatural. So maybe
some of
this
the
is
stuff
like
they pull. Yeah,
like an ABC afternoon
this
special
is
kind of
of
shit,
what
like
I
a
equated
Goosebumps.
this. But I don't know. I think this is better.
I would say Hallows Eve at least had as confusing and nonsensical and ridiculous as it is the relationships of who's related to who and how old they are is complete garbage nonsense. At least the motives for the killing is at least kind of clear.
Sure.
You get that.
Sure.
Here it makes zero sense. Like I
Yeah.
still know why the fuck did they suddenly start wanting to kill people in their own attraction? It doesn't make any
and
sense.
the kills were better
Like,
in Hallows Eve.
Yeah, at least Junior tries to explain something. He got off on or made some kind of weird psychological connection with him and Agnes. But what about the mom and the dad? That it doesn't explain why they're going around. Why mom's burning Lily at the stake like Joan of Arc, and why dad's running around like a fucking shotgun wanting to shoot everybody. None of it makes it explain.
They be
Makes sense.
tripping.
But at least in Hallows Eve, as bad as that movie, I could say I could put that on. At least the kills are good enough, and it's silly and just it's so bad. But at least that one's like bad, almost a fun way. Because at least it's entertaining. Because the kills are exciting, the gore is better. This one is the acting might be better in this movie, but it's just too much of a slow burn and for not enough payoff and a very unclear motive as to
I
why
would just
they're
say
doing it. What
slow. There's no burn like there's a great payoff or something.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
slow.
And
Just
that's
slow.
fair. That's fair.
So,
I'll give you that.
I am changing. I'm going back on what I said 6 years ago.
Past Marshall.
Yeah, past Marshall was not smart. Not right.
We grow and we learn it.
We
right.
do. We
That's
do.
right.
We grow and learn as people. That's what we do here, really. At the when you
horrible
peel back the layers of the horrible horror onion, at the core of it, we really are about growing and expanding, and helping people grow and become better people.
See,
To
the
self-realize,
See, the horrible horror was the friends we met on the way.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. Goddamn, I'm so glad, Doug, you were able to come back and
This was
be
a lot
part
of
of
fun,
this. This
dude.
was
Good to
especially
have
for
you,
this
Doug.
episode.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
This was great.
So hopefully it won't be like 3 years before we ever
No.
have you back on or whatever
Well,
it was.
We'll save them for Bates Motel 2.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the Bates Haunting too. It's all right. You know the deal. Watch more horror movies, and you remember to always
Stay spooky!
and keep it tight.